Baltimore Stars have done. This record 91-yard punt return by Garcia Lane got the Stars off to the lead against the New Jersey Generals last Monday night, a lead they would hold all game. The Stars trying to reach the USFL championship game for a third straight season. They are led by quarterback Chuck Fusina. He has been the Stars quarterback from the beginning. And the doghouse defense, which has been a cornerstone of this team, kept Herschel Walker in check Monday night to beat the Generals 20-17. It's a defense that allowed the fewest points in the USFL this season, second overall in defense to the Birmingham Stallions. The Stallions won the Eastern Conference Championship at 13-5, endured a breathtaking 22-20 win over Houston in the quarterfinals. Place kicker Danny Miller had 5 field goals, including this 57-yarder. But Jim Kelly kept Houston in the game, and with time running out, Tony Fritz just missed this 49-yard field goal that could have beaten the Stallions. The Stallions have beaten the Stars twice this season, but both wins very close. They will try to make it 3 straight today. As ABC Sports present the semifinals in the USFL 1985. Baltimore and Birmingham. The winner plays Oakland for the USFL title next Sunday night. We're at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama for this second semifinal game in the USFL playoffs. The weather is relatively mild, all things considered. Obviously a little warmer down on the field because of the artificial surface. The Stars and the Stallions, and a ball game that offers the ticket to the championship game next Sunday night against the Oakland Invaders. The United States Football League, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game brought to you by exceptionally smooth Michelob, the beer of choice for people who are moving up. Where you're going, it's Michelob. By Dodge, maker of Ram-tough Dodge trucks. At Dodge, we don't just talk tough, we prove it. By Kellogg's Corn Flakes, those crispy, crunchy, golden flakes of corn, a wholesome and delicious way for everyone in your family to start their day. And by Head & Shoulders, the self-balancing formula puts dandruff protection on your scalp, conditioners on your hair. Dandruff care that's good for your hair. In the first semifinal game played yesterday at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, the Oakland Invaders, the Western Conference champions, beat the Memphis Showboats 28-19. It was an impressive win for the Invaders at Memphis, and they're back home now waiting to see which team will qualify for the title game here. This is a matchup of the 2 best defenses in the USFL. The 2 previous games clearly reflect the quality of the defense on both sides. Look at that, 7-3 and 14-7. Those are unheard of scores these days in professional football. And here's why. The Baltimore Stars allowed the fewest points per game overall during the season, whereas Birmingham allowed the smallest amount of yardage to the opposition. And they're both impressive numbers as far as I'm concerned. In this ball game, I think, Lynn Swan, you don't talk about defense. As the morning paper in Birmingham said, you talk about defense.
You certainly do, and both teams played exceptionally well. They come together as a unit. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch when these 2 teams come out and play. The defensive line gives you a hard pass rush. Linebackers swarming all around the field. And the secondary always in the right spot to pick out the ball. The Birmingham Stallions lead the league in takeaways with a plus 17. And the Stars weren't far behind with plus 11. They have Chuck Clatton, who picked off 16 in the course of the year, and Mike Lester for the Stars picked off 10, so they're doing their share of the work.
There are a couple of running backs in this ball game, Kelvin Bryant for the Stars and Joe Cribbs for the Stallions. I think either one of those fellows could emerge and have a big ball game and swing a decision.
Both guys are going to have a tough way to go against the defenses they face today. Joe Cribbs cracked or bruised 2 ribs last week. There's going to be some question mark about what he will be able to do this afternoon. Kelvin Bryant was hurt during the course of the year, a bad ankle. He only ran the ball 6 times against Birmingham when they last played, where he's reaching a peak just when you want him the most in the playoffs.
Well, no running back ever runs very far without some help from the big people in the trenches. The ringleader of the offensive front for the Baltimore Stars is offensive tackle Irv Eatman. Let's hear from Irv now as he talks with our Tim Brandt.
All right, Keith, and Irv, you have heard the criticism personally, because when this team needed key yardage, they always came behind you. There are some people that said, this has not been your year. Does that work as an incentive?
Well, naturally, when you have a little adversity like we've had during the course of the year, naturally, they're going to look for the somewhere to put the blame. And since I'm one of our key players, naturally, I should take some of that blame, and I do. But I feel like, I've had a good year, and I'm not really particularly concerned about it. Coaches and the players have been happy with it, and that's all I'm concerned about.
I'm going to ask you right up front, is this the toughest defense you've faced all year?
I don't think it is. I think they may be one of the best defenses statistically. They are the best statistically, but not the toughest because they predicate their whole defense on fooling people, but they're not going to fool us today.
All right, I'm going right across the field right now, and I'm going to talk to Mike Perko, who's going to be on the other line. Any message for him?
Well, all they better do is strap it on because we came to play, and we're going to take this ball game today.
All right, Keith.
Thank you very much, Tim. You have to get pressure on any quarterback these days to survive the way the game of football is played at all levels. But especially a guy like Chuck Vicina, you give him time to look over the field, he'll pick your pocket and he'll beat you. And one of the guys charged with the problem of pursuing Vicina today, trying to contain him, trying to shorten his time of view, is Mike Perko, the mountain man now with Tim Brandt.
All right, Mike, I was just over there with Irv Eatman. I'm going to tell you right up front, he said strap it on, and this is definitely not the toughest defense he's faced all year.
We'll see after the game.
Tell me about their offense now. It'll go after. They've averaged 27 points the last 5 regular season games. How do you stop it?
You got to stop everything, passing and running. Our teams are both evenly matched. It's going to come down to who makes the fewest mistakes.
Are you pumped up?
Hell yeah.
All right, there it is, Keith. The stage is set.
Well, he's a fearsome-looking critter, isn't he? Big Mike Perko. This is a matchup that has always been fun. Now, we talk about the fact that Birmingham defeated Baltimore twice this year, 7-3 and 14-7. You can't forget that it was the Philadelphia Stars that took the Birmingham Stallions out of the playoffs last year up at Franklin Field. They just simply handled them 20-10. The toss of the coin now in the center of the field. The referee is Bill Parkinson.
He'll call the toss. He calls tails. He calls tails.
Tails.
It's ahead. It's ahead. Birmingham wins the toss. What do we see? What do we get?
The Birmingham Stallions will get the football first. Len Swan, what do you think about having the ball on the first possession? Now, throughout the playoffs, we have seen every game that we have covered, the opening possession for each side has been tentative and sometimes mistake-laden.
It has been. I think it's better to have the ball on the opening possession, Keith. The offense can come out into the field. The offense always has to play under control. And I think that's one of the things that happens at the start of the game. You're playing too much under control. So why not have your offense out there taking their time, filling out the opposition, and then trying to get the momentum built up. The defense can go out there and just play open and loose, let all that aggressiveness out into the ball game, and really pin a team back if they can get the jump on them.
Quickly, the officials for the ball game: Bill Parkinson, referee; Tom Myers, umpire; Dale Newhouse, head linesman; line judge is Lawrence Hill; back judge is Dick Eichhorst; Don Gassaway, the side judge; and the field judge is Wesley Ward. The Baltimore Stars will be wearing the red shirts, and the Birmingham Stallions wearing the white shirts, home colors. Dave Trout is the place kicker for the for the Baltimore Stars. And Birmingham's Danny Miller, of course, was the hero of the city throughout the course of the week after kicking 5 field goals last week.
When they were warming up, Keith, before the game, he had a couple of warm-ups at 50 yards, and everybody was applauding him.
Trout nailed it. He's pumped up. Ball goes deep to McFadden. Thad McFadden at the 15, 20, and down at the 21 or 22-yard line. And this is the way that Birmingham opens the offensive. Afternoon for them. Cliff Stout at quarterback. Joe Cribbs and Joel Coles, the running back. Joey Jones and Jim Smith, the wide receivers. Darrell Mason, the tight end. Jim Smith probably we doubled most of the day. It's McKinley, Adelet, Battaglia, Saindon, Phoenix, the big people up front for the Stallions. And here we go with the first snap of the ball game. The winner goes to the title game. Ken Toller is in there at a wide spot now. So they open with 3 wides, and the ball is handed to Joe Cribbs. And Cribbs has a yard, maybe 2, as he is pinned down by the inside linebacker, Mike Johnson. The defensive alignment for the Baltimore Stars. The 3 big people up front are William Fuller. Pete Kugler is back from injury at just the right time. Don Fielder. The backers are Jameson, Johnson, Mills, and Cooper. The secondary is a good one of Sutton and Lane at the corners with Gibson and Lush the safeties. Second down and 8. And Cribbs again, this time caught just as he receives the ball by Pete Kugler, the nose tackle who had 3 years with the San Francisco 49ers, came out of Penn State from his collegiate days, and the football is just short of the 25-yard line where it is third down and 7. Could be the first pass of the afternoon by Cliff Stout. Straight back. Sideline pattern. Picked off. And it could be 6. Jonathan Sutton. Touchdown. Stout did not look off anybody. He threw the ball to the first man he looked at, and Sutton was laying right there and just simply stepped in front of Smith, and away he went.
Keith, and trying to figure out what was going to happen in this ball game, talking with our producer before the game, I had said that field position and the least number of turnovers would probably dictate who would win this ball game. Cliff Stout just backs up. He's looking for Toller. Sutton read him all the way. As you said, he did not look off. The receiver stared right at him. And a good cornerback, when he's playing a zone, reads the eyes of the quarterback and follows them directly to the ball. 36 yards on the interception and return for a touchdown.
And Trout nails the extra point. The USFL's second all-time leading scorer at 353 now has 354. And so bang bang at the start of the ball game. The Baltimore Stars, Jonathan Sutton takes it in for the TD on the interception and a 7. It is a 7-0 Stars lead. And the offense is yet to come on the field as Trout gets ready to kick off. McFadden and Douglas are the deep people. 1 pass, 1 interception, 1 TD. That's the start of the game. And Trout again is high with it and long to the goal line for McFadden. And he's cut down as he gets to the 15-yard line. The special teams for the Baltimore Stars have been, since the very beginning, 3 years ago, very good.
And as you can see the ball being placed at the 15-yard line, why special teams plays an important role. You don't have to return the kickoff, and you can bring it out to the 20. Good special teams can make a good hit, cause a fumble, pin you up inside that 20, and give your defense a chance to really stop the offense deep in their own territory.
Now Stout has to shrug it off and start again. Pitch it outside to Cribbs. Cribbs cuts it back inside, gets 2 yards on the play. Don Fielder drifted out with the play. George Cooper was out there along with Dave Ofer. There wasn't any place for Cribbs to go.
Cribbs throughout the 1985 season, Keith, has not really been able to get to the outside to break any big run. His longest run of the regular season was only 28-yard lines. Anytime a linebacker or cornerback can come up and force him back to the inside, you have a higher chance of him being tackled for a short gain with all the pursuit coming from the inside out.
At the beginning of this ball game, I'm reminded of the old Wallace Wade credo. Nobody ever wins a football game, somebody loses it. On second down, Stout looks down the middle. There is nobody. Now he's got Smith open and misses him. Ball was thrown a little high and in front of Smith. He had broken away from the linebacker trying to cover him down the middle, but then the crowd got bigger as Sutton, Gibson, Lush converged on him.
Smitty coming across the middle of the field, coming open as Cliff Stout was trying to roll out. Jimmy looked like he really didn't go after that pass very hard, Keith. He went up in the air. He didn't go out for the pass.
But he might have been expecting Antonio Gibson to lay one in his ribs about that time because Tony was close to it, and he's a big man.
That's true, but you still go after the ball.
True. It's 7-0. Stars lead on Sutton's interception return of 33 yards, and Stout back to throw on third down. Fuller's out there pursuing. Fuller's got him. Mills came from the inside, but it was William Fuller, the big fella from North Carolina, who just stood him up, played him off, and took him down at the original line of scrimmage, and it's kicking time for Bob Parsons.
So far, this game early in the first period, all defense, and all of it the Baltimore Stars.
Lane had a 91-yarder that got him off and winging against New Jersey last Monday night. Parsons, a very high kick and a very good punt for Bob. Back at the 43 for Lane. And he is brought down just short of midfield at the 49-yard line by Ted Walton, a defensive back. So Bob Parsons punting well late in the season. A 44-yarder and a 6-yard return. The offensive alignment for Baltimore. First time on the field, despite the fact they're leading 7-0. Fusina at quarterback, Kelvin, Brian, Allen, Harbin, the setback. Spitzky, Caber, Wide, and Dunnick is the tight end. And it's first down Stars at their own 49-yard line with 11 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Fusina gives to Bryant. Bryant is caught behind the line of scrimmage, and he goes down at the 43, and it's Dave Purifoy, number 75. The offensive front for the Baltimore Stars is Conwell, Dugan, Oates, Comiskey, Eatman. And the defense for Birmingham is Purifoy, Klein, Smith, Perko out of a 4-man front. The backers are Spencer, Rowe, and Kelly. And the secondary, Woodbury, Dumars, Planton, and Evans. Loss on the play of 6 yards. It is second down and 16. Fusina back to throw. No pressure, throws it underneath to Kelvin Bryant. And Bryant wheels and deals to the 35 and down to the 34.
That is a typical pass by Chuck Fusina, the kind of pass he will try to throw all day long. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, so he goes for the high percentage passes, completing 61 of his passes on the regular season. Kelvin Bryant just swings out of the backfield. The ball only goes about 10 yards in the air. Then with some nifty running, he picks up the rest of the yards.
And Willie Collier has come into the ball game for Baltimore, coming off of a broken collarbone. Fusina keeps the ball. He was looking to give it away, but he was looking for somebody to come through the hole on the left side, and nobody came, or maybe he didn't have control of it. Whatever, he kept it and got a little bit out of it.
Keith, I should mention, even though it's the Baltimore offense on the field, that interception and return for a touchdown by Sutton was the first time one has been returned for a touchdown in USFL playoff history.
Jim Mora, the coach of Baltimore. Raleigh Dotch, the head man of Birmingham. Two well-constructed organizations and two good football teams. Fusina back to throw it. Going to the corner, Collier, touchdown. No, it is Victor Harrison. Victor Harrison, the defender, fell down. David Evans, I believe it was, got tangled up and fell down. The play goes for 30 yards, and the Baltimore Stars have jumped out to a 2-touchdown lead.
Well, it looked like David did not want to get called for pass interference, so he was pulling back as he was stumbling down. In that case, he should have just really jumped all over Victor Harrison, taken the interference call as opposed to giving up an easy touchdown. Victor Harrison was behind him. It was a very well-thrown pass. Had he stayed up, he would have had to have made a spectacular leap, Keith, to knock that ball down.
Dave Trout knocks it through. Oh, David has added 2 more points to his career total. There's the young man that carried it in for the touchdown, Harrison. Only his 4th touchdown of the year. And here's another look at the play.
Play action pass, holding the linebackers, allowing Chuck Fusina more time to get the ball away. And the 2 quick touchdowns on the interception, and now here the long pass by Fusina to Harrison have come on the backs of mistakes and poor plays by the Birmingham Stallions. If they continue this play, it's going to be a rout.
9:17 to go in the first quarter, and it's 14-0 Stars. Jim Mora, who's bidding to put his Stars in the USFL title game for a 3rd successive year. Lost the first time around, 24-22 to Michigan. Won handily over Arizona the second time around. And leading right now in the first quarter, 14-0 over Birmingham. It's a very poor kick by David Trout. The ball is caught short up at the 21-yard line. He almost whiffed it. Victor Harrison scored the TD on the 30-yard pass. He's now with Tim Brent.
All right, Keith, and the play happened right in front of me, and it looked like he tripped right on your heel. Could you feel him?
Yes, I saw him when I came to the line. I knew it was man-to-man coverage. He was playing bump. He was about 2 yards from the line of scrimmage on me. I knew if I could get by him, the play was called from the sideline. I knew if Chuck led up, I would have a chance to get under it. When I went by him, I saw the trip on his foot, and I thought I was going to go down. I maintained the balance, and I saw the ball in the air. I was going to let it go.
All right, instead he went down, tripping on your foot.
Cliff Stout rolls it out now on first down for Birmingham, keeps the ball and turns it upfield to about the 29. And he takes a lick from 96, Don Fielder.
Cliff Stout is accustomed to carrying the ball. In regular season, he carried 80 times for 437 yards, a 5.5 average per carry and 5 touchdowns, and that was second on his team only to Joe Cribbs.
He needs 2 yards on second down. Paul Otteruth is in the lineup now for Birmingham. At the I-back, ball goes to the up man. And that's Joel Coles, a 220-pounder out of Penn State, and Joel has the first down for the Stallions. So there is their first offensive success of the afternoon.
Football, Keith, as you well know, is very much a game of the attitude as we take a look at Raleigh Dotch on the sideline, head coach of the Stallions. And being Eastern Conference champions this year, you would expect Birmingham to come out and play well and have the edge in this ball game. On the other hand, Baltimore can come out and play loose. No one expects them to win. No one expects them to really be in the playoffs.
On first down, Stout gets the pass away. He is hit hard as he delivers the pass, and it was George Cooper, an outside linebacker, that came in to nail him and went right through Joe Cribbs' block.
And I think that attitude, that looseness, Keith, is paying off for Baltimore early in this ball game. The defense picking off the pass, the offense coming back, scoring very quickly. You see there the pass rush. Joe Cribbs there just being flattened as Cooper came in. Excuse me, Joel Coles being flattened as Cooper came in on that pass rush.
They send Joey Jones and Jim Smith to the bottom of the picture now. It is second down and 10. From the 33. A little better protection this time. Now Stout pulls it down, and he's surrounded by red shirts, and he'll get 1 yard on the play. So it'll be 3rd and 9.
Sam Mills, number 54, number 91, Buddy Moore, making the stop. Cliff just didn't know where he wanted to run that time or whether he just wanted to stop and look downfield once again. Jim Smith, who led this team in receptions this season, 87 catches for a league-leading 20 touchdowns. It was double covered on that play, and we can expect to see Jimmy double covered in most key passing situations.
3rd and 9. Stout throws, bounces the ball in front of Joey Jones. And again, there were people in his face. Number 67 was blowing right in on him. Pete Kugler, the nose tackle. And so far, it's been all Baltimore.
You're going to see Cliff Stout have to go to Joey Jones and Toller and to his tight end more, with Jim Smith getting lots of double coverage. The defensive secondary for Baltimore plays extremely well, and tough defense. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes.
Another fine punt by Bob Parsons. Runs Garcia Lane out of bounds. Just outside the 15-yard line, and that one by Big Bob was 51 yards. With 6:33 to go in the first quarter, 14-0 Stars. Boris Becker wins at Wimbledon, not only the youngest ever to win, but the first unseeded player ever to win at Wimbledon. Her and, of course, former Texas Longhorn. He's the man that knocked off McEnroe and Connors in succession, but loses to young Becker, a West German. From the 15-yard line, Baltimore goes to work. Bryant bounces outside and gets it out to the 22.
We'll get a chance to compare Bryant and his running style to Joe Cribbs throughout the afternoon. And you'll notice that Bryant is such an instinctive runner. He's got long strides, real solid gait, and he just makes the quick moves to the inside. Never gives you too much of anything. Doesn't waste a lot of energy. Just seems to know where those holes are. He runs and fills the openings and just follows his instincts.
Well, fucking deep.
7, second down and 3. Yusina looks over the field and throws underneath for Alan Harvin, and Harvin doesn't hold on. It'll be 3rd down and 3. That would have been enough for the first down, just barely.
Number 55, Herb Spencer, was a man who came over and hit Harvin as he was fumbling with the football. Spencer loves contact, loves to make the big hit. Right here, had he just looked up, waited a little bit longer, he might have been able to just take this bobble and run into the end zone with it as it bounced right in front of his headgear.
3rd and 3. It's a long 3. Throwing. Underneath. Pass is caught by James Caber out of Missouri. And he's pulled down at the 32-yard line, and it's a first down.
One of the things that is going to allow the Stars to have success is that their routes are not very deep. Get them away very quickly. The offensive line doing an excellent job of protecting under those circumstances. They just make a little wall in front of Chuck Fusina. No one can get through.
14-0. Stars jumping out to a big lead in the first, and it's a big lead between these two teams. Running into the middle, Alan Harvin, 205-pounder out of Cincinnati, and he's got a couple of yards up near the 34. Once again, however, we see that Kelvin Bryant makes a couple of big plays. He's out of the lineup. He rests a play, and then he comes back.
Now, Kelvin Bryant never seen this year to ever be in top shape. He has been doing that consistently, game after game after game, so you have to question what his physical status is.
Wide split in the backs now on 2nd down and 8. Bryant going out on the wing, has the ball. And he's short of the first down as he gets to the 39, where 3 Stallions bring him down. And we got a Baltimore man shaken up on the field.
For Birmingham, number 52, Bill Lowe, on the stop.
Looks like Ken Dunnett, the tight end out of Memphis State.
So with 4:06, timeout for the injured man. First quarter of play, Stars 2-touchdown lead. Dunnick off the field, walked off, had his wind knocked. Looked like it took a helmet in the stomach and just knocked the wind out of him. Big tough guy, he'll be back. Steve Folsom, who was the starting tight end for the Stars the first 2 seasons, is now in there. He lost the job to Dunnick, the starting job at least, when he was injured. And Folsom is only recently back. Yusina back to throw on 3rd down and 3. Goes high and deep and long. Too long. Pass intended for Willie Collier. And Willie's out there playing with a just recently healed collarbone.
I talked to him before the game. He's got a pad on his feet. He says, I don't know how much I can play, but as soon as I get hit, I'll find out just how well I am. He's open on the play, but because of the blitz and Herb Spencer knocking Chuck Fusina down, he really had to unload quickly. Thus, he cannot throw it with a great deal of accuracy.
Are you a little surprised the Baltimore receivers are getting that loose in the Birmingham secondary?
Very surprised.
Here's the punt by Sean Landetta. And Sean hangs it very, very high, forcing Thad McFadden to call a fair catch. And Landetta, who is one of the better punters in football today, didn't get the kind of distance we're used to seeing from him. And so here comes Birmingham now with 27-yard line. The U.S. Women's Open Golf Championship will come to you from the Baltusrol Club at Springfield, New Jersey, next Saturday here on ABC. Alice Miller, Nancy Lopez, Amy Alcott, Big Mama made a big run down in Sugar Land, Texas yesterday to hold the 3rd round lead in that tournament. So the U.S. Women's Open coming up next Saturday here on ABC. This is a swing pass to Joe Cribbs. And Joe gets it out to about the 31. That's a pickup of 4 yards. And the Baltimore defensive people are all over the place. Sam Mills, who came storming back into pro football after being refused an opportunity in the NFL, made that play, 5'9", 225. Everybody seemed to say when Sam was trying to get a place to play, you're too small, you're too short. But all he's done with the Baltimore Stars and previously the Philadelphia Stars is be an all-star 3 straight years. Second down and 6. This is Joel Cole down at the 30.
Cole's tripping up over on the AstroTurf on his own feet. Could not get to the outside. Someone else from the Baltimore team on defense is now down the field. We'll take a look. 35 Coles. He wants to cut inside. Can't make. It's not off his foot. It's off.
George Cooper is the man down.
I was saying that Coles fell down by tripping over one of his linemen who was out in front of him. Blocking.
Birmingham, looking back into history between these two teams, never scored more than 14 points against the Stars. They lost in the playoffs last year at Philadelphia, 20-10. And to just refresh your memory, the 2 previous games this year, 7-3 Birmingham up at College Park and 14-7 here at Legion Field. And looks like Cooper's either got knee or ankle trouble.
Recalling that playoff game of last year, Keith, I recall that Birmingham just did not play a good football game all the way around. It's like they came into the ball game, they put the uniforms on, but they really didn't want to play the game.
Well, that comes from tightness, I guess, anticipation. It comes from 1,000 different little things that all add up into a big thing when it's all done.
Yeah, but this is a semifinal game. Last year was a semifinal game, a championship game, where you go after it. It's not the best record that's going to take you on. It's winning today.
That's right.
No second chances in the playoff games.
It's 3rd down and 7 now for the Stallions from the 30. Stout has time this time, but the play is broken up. The pass intended for Ken Toller, and the man that made the play was Jonathan Sutton, the left corner. It was Sutton who made the interception when Stout threw his first pass in the first possession. Parsons' 3rd punt. Previous 2 were 44 and 51. Pressured this time. Still gets it out and gets a good punt out of it. And Garcia Lane can't get to it as it takes a Baltimore bounce back up the field. It's going to be up somewhere in the neighborhood of the 40.
Now the ball will come back to the 40 where one of the Birmingham players touched it as it bounced back. 34, Jeff Rodenberg was the man who jumped on top of it.
They put the ball at right on the 40, it looks like. Tyrell Biggs trying to move along as an undefeated young heavyweight, goes against Eddie Richardson out of Atlantic City next week. That'll be paired up with the Firecracker 400. But I saw a story in the paper this morning that Richard Petty said he might drive until he was 64.
I just don't want to be on the same highway.
It figures. Petty'd keep driving until he collects his Social Security. Right? Oh, Richard, he's a dandy. First down. The ball is at the 40, and Kelvin Bryant outside as a receiver. Instead, the ball is thrown underneath to Dunnick, the tight end, and Dunnick takes it over onto the Birmingham side of the field to the 41, and it begins to appear that Baltimore is able to move the ball almost at will.
Baltimore coming out playing a very, well, not very wide open, but much more open a football game than I think we're accustomed to seeing from their offense.
It is Chuck Clanton hurt on the play. That's the man that intercepted 16 passes for the Birmingham defense during the course of a season. He's a wild man in the secondary, the free safety who plays center field and just goes flying all over the ballpark. And that time, he took a lick and hasn't gotten up yet. Fusina has completed 5 passes so far to 4 different receivers.
He has to be able to spread the ball out. He's reading the defensive coverages, Keith, and he is only taking what the defense is going to give him. He doesn't throw into double coverage very often. He looks for what the defense will give you, the single coverage on the receiver. He doesn't always try and take the big chunk. He goes after the high percentage passes, and that's why Chuck Fusina is always on a winning football team. He may not be able to take the game apart by throwing passes 50 and 60 yards downfield all the time, but he doesn't hurt you. He doesn't make the mistakes that can cost you a football game.
Clanton gets up, runs off. And here comes Kelvin Bryant on a sweep. And he's going to have a first down for the Stars inside the Birmingham 30-yard line. Now, right at the 30 is where they put him down. This is that Eatman-Comiskey bunch on the right side.
Now they get out in front of you, and that's a lot of blocking power there. And you see how they're just throwing people back, pushing him downfield. And Kelvin Bryant just weaves in and out between the melee. Somewhat of a homecoming for Irv Eatman. Back in 1961 on January 1st, he was born here in Birmingham, Alabama.
First down, Stars, 30 of Birmingham, and this time there is nothing there.
That was Mike
Kelvin
Sametta
Bryant.
That came in there and really stuck his headgear into the back of Bryant. Ron Padgett is on the bottom, holding him down.
Time about gone in the first quarter of play. We're at 20 seconds to go. Quite a mild day for the game. Oakland defeated Memphis 28-19 yesterday to become one of the championship contenders. The winner of this one will be on their way to Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands for next Sunday night's game, which you'll see on ABC at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The first quarter is over. So after 15 minutes, it's a 14-point lead for the Baltimore Stars, and frankly, that is surprising. The first quarter stats are certainly as definitive as the score, aren't they?
They certainly are. That minus 2 yards for Birmingham comes on a 4-yard completion and a minus 6-yard sack. Look at the number of yards passing for Baltimore, 104 already in the first quarter. They're averaging 194 in a game, per game on the season.
From the 30, Bucina gives it to Kelvin Bryant, and he's loose in the secondary and bangs his way across the 18. That will be another first down for the Stars. Chuck Clanton back in the ball game after having his bell rung, making the tackle. Clanton is fearless. He goes and sticks his head in there against some big people sometimes that he perhaps ought not to, but Chuck weighs 193 pounds and is fearless.
Yeah, he is fearless. He picks the balls off by disguising his coverage. And very often you'll see one of those big backs being hit by someone else or being held. And Chuck Clanton takes that opportunity to really nail him once again.
The patented sweep by Kelvin Bryant, and Bryant is going to get good 6 yards out of this one. Right now, the Stars are just blowing them off the ball.
The Stars are a team with a lot of character and a lot of pride. And I think one of their motivating forces to come back and make it to the playoffs and be here in the semifinal game is the fact that people had them written off early in the season. I certainly did. I thought they were playing very poorly, but there would be no way they'd make it to the playoff game. In fact, I picked them to lose against New Jersey, and several of the players reminded me before the game that I was wrong.
Second down and 4. Bucina throwing. Gets his pass off. The pass is incomplete. Dunick had one hand on it, and then David Dumars banged into him, and the ball fell away. And they got Bucina down that time. It was not a hard lick, but at least they got him down for the first time.
And you like to get Chuck thinking about the pressure, feeling the pressure every time he throws the ball. He is not going to lose his poise, however, easily or very quickly. We've seen him in ball games where the team has gotten down. There's Cliff Stout on the sideline waiting for an opportunity to get back in and get things turned around for Birmingham. But Bucina has been down before and fought back, so has Cliff Stout. So I don't think we're in a situation where either one of them is going to panic or get frustrated.
And as Chuck Bucina is wont to do many times when he comes up there and he's looking at opportunity to put points on the scoreboard and there is something wrong, he does not hesitate about spending a timeout. Raleigh Dodge, whose Birmingham Stallions are beleaguered at the moment, trailing 14-0, and the Stars with a third down and 4 at the 12-yard line of Birmingham. Easily within field goal range if they fail to pick up the 4.5 yards they need.
Irv Eatman out of UCLA. First round draft choice, has played in every down of the offensive team for all 3 seasons here for the Baltimore Stars.
David Riley, the lone remaining back. Blitz is on. They pick it off. And the pass is incomplete. Number 54, diving in, was Dallas Hickman. Chuck Clanton was with him, and they took James Caver out of the play.
Yeah, James Caver better check his hands to find out where the hole is. He ought to hang on to this one because Hickman was coming. He should have made that catch. He and Clanton just unloaded.
That went right by the umpire's ear. That might have also had something to do with his vision. In is David Trout.
University of Pittsburgh, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
29-yard try. Tim Reardon will hold it. Joe Happy snaps it. And Trout nails it, but slides it right. It did not hook back for him. He missed the field goal last week at New Jersey, and now he has missed the field goal try of only 29 yards early in the second quarter. So, for a change, the Birmingham Stallions can take a deep breath and send the offense onto the field. Well, the Stallion defense held him out of the end zone, and Trout missed the field goal try from 29 yards, and now the offense is out there at the 20 with 13 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the first half, trailing 14-0. Stout rolls it out. A lot of time, but nobody to throw to. Coles and Toller were down the right sideline. And we've got a penalty flag. We've got a personal foul called against Baltimore. They jumped on Cliff Stout with a little too much enthusiasm.
And Cliff Stout is just standing there, not too far from where he was tackled. We'll take another look. He's rolling out. He's rolling out to try and put more pressure on the defense, trying to open something up. The receivers are covered, decides to run downfield, but the linebackers haven't taken that deep a drop. They're right there.
Foul. Spearing 94. First down.
That's Dave Opar as Cliff Stout was being tackled. He just came diving over the top. I don't know. That's a bit questionable, Keith. Didn't seem really to do much damage. You see him going over the top. Well, he tried.
If he kept his head up, he'd have been all right. But he stick that helmet down, they're going to nail you for it.
Whether you make contact or not.
That's right. It has to do with a matter of intent. Like Cliff got a bloody nose, huh?
Yeah. That'll mess up your uniform in a hurry. On a day like today, a bloody nose may seem like something very small and not serious, but you clog up those nasal passages, and it becomes very difficult to breathe.
And he has to yell. First down up at the 40. That one, Jim Smith goes high in front of Garcia Lane to make the catch. And for the first time today, the Stallions are on Baltimore's side of the field.
Now that pass looked like it was about 21 yards, Keith. A pass play and reception. And it takes time to be able to get downfield as Jim Smith runs downfield, pushes the secondary back, stops into the open zone, waits for the ball, and comes up, makes the catch. But when you have to wait that long for your receivers to come open, you're giving the defensive line a lot of time to put pressure on the passer.
Just short of the 38 of Baltimore. First down, Stallions. And stripped. Now, Joe hasn't found any daylight today. He ran into Sam Mills. Give him 2 on the play, make it second down and 8. Joe has carried the ball 4 times in the ball game, and each time he has gained 2 yards.
Tough defense. Baltimore Stars. Pete Kugler being back, holding down the middle. It's a big influence on this team, number 67.
Paulette Garuth now replaces Cripps.
Let's go.
36!
Stout throwing. Has Smith open. Oh, did he take a wallop from 27, Mike Lush, but he holds on to the ball. And gets up.
There is no holiday coming across the middle of anybody's football field. Mike Lush has made a living at the safety position, dropping back in the middle, reading the passer, coming in, making the big plays, and the receivers coming across. He's beating Sutton across the middle here, but Lusk just waits for him and unloads. But that's a second catch for Jim Smith for 42 yards.
Ball is just inside the 17 of Baltimore. And Stout throwing again.
Blitz.
Pressure's on, gets it off, dumped it. And a penalty flag. We may get another call against Mike Johnson and or George Jameson for roughing Stout. Stout is down on the field, slow to get up. And the referee whipped that rag out of his pocket in a hurry when two of them hit him.
Intentional grounding.
No,
On the
called
offense.
grounding.
Lost it down. Second down.
I thought again they put Stout down with unusual vigor, and the call might go that way, but it's not. They call him for dumping it.
They call him for dumping it. Let's see if there's anybody in the area. You see the pressure right here. He gets the ball away. He looks like he's dumping off, but Joe Cribbs, I think that was, who was lying down on the ground, was in the area.
It wasn't Cribbs, because he's out getting his helmet fixed. Must have been Coles.
Coles?
Yeah.
Bad break. Last week's game.
I saw Jameson jump up and start bouncing up and down, and
Darrell Mason. Nope,
35, Joel Coles. It's a 20-yard penalty. And back goes Stout to throw. Throws underneath to Joey Jones, and he's wrapped up at about the 32, 33-yard line.
I've seen Joey Jones do what he just did there, Keith, a lot. He'll make the catch, turn around, he'll see a lot of people around him. He'll give ground, trying to use his speed to get away, and he'll end up losing maybe a yard or 2 yards on the play. You can make that move every once in a while, but you can't live by it.
They need about 25 yards on third down.
Joe Cribbs back in the ball game. So far, his ribs seem to be holding up.
Toller makes the catch and then rolls down at the 25, well short of the original line of scrimmage. And in comes the kicking team. Danny Miller, who had 5 last Saturday to beat Houston. Miller has been deadly in postseason play during his career. He's 11 out of 11 in field goals. This is a 43-yarder. Will come out of the hold of Bob Lane off the snap of Joe Bach. Looks left. Oh, hits the left upright. Well, we've seen Dave Trout get that treatment, haven't we?
I was about to say, we've seen games where Dave Trout must have kicked 3 of them, or maybe 4, and the other times we watched him kick, they hit the upright and bounce off. Danny Miller gets enough foot into it. It's long enough. It just drifts off to the left, hits the upright, very much like Tony Fritz's kick that drifted off to the left. And final seconds of the ball game that lost it for Houston.
8:33 to go in the first half of play. Danny Miller has his string broken in playoff play in his career. From 43 yards, hitting the upright. And the ball goes over to the Stars at their own 25. You've seen a throwing to the sidelines. And the ball is knocked away, and a penalty flag is down. Ball going against Dennis Woodbury. The pass was intended for Scott Bitsky.
Now, Woodbury did what many people in the secondary.
One number. Holding. Defense number 21. That's 5 yards and a first down.
What many people in the secondary will do, going in, trying to knock a pass down. They're reaching over with the hand, the slap of the way, and the hand that's behind them on the inside, they use to hold on right there around the waist of the receiver. Unfortunately, there's a judge behind them, so they'll throw a flag. You see right there the holding.
That 7th man makes that play hard to get away with anymore, doesn't it?
You bet it does.
7th official. First down. Ball comes out just past the 30. Look out, Bryant's there. And it's touchdown Stars. A 70-yard pass run play, Fusina to Kelvin Bryant. And Bill Rowe had no chance to catch Kelvin Bryant.
The easy
and it's
part,
getting serious now for the Birmingham Stallions.
you're right, the easy part of this play is for Kelvin Bryant to run the pattern. The tough part was on Chuck Fusina as he steps away from pressure. He is almost sacked right there. He's almost sacked. He steps up into the pocket, lets it fly. It's a perfect pass over the shoulder. Nice soft pass to Kelvin Bryant. And the North Carolina Tar Heel just runs it easily into the end zone.
And Trout comes in trying to make it a 21-0 Baltimore Stars lead. Baltimore has no trouble playing on the road. They've done it all year. They live and work in Philadelphia and get on a bus and travel down the road for home games at College Park. So coming to Birmingham is no big deal for them. Bryant now with 32 yards running, 98 yards receiving. He's totaled 130 yards in the ball game, and here's another look at the TD.
And right here, he looks like he's in good shape. He just takes an outside release. Bill Rowe has no chance, man-to-man coverage. He never even came close to being with Kelvin Bryant on the play.
So it's 7 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the first half. It's a how do you do? 21-0 Stars.
They will have fought 20 wars to get there, and only the two best will be left. This is what sport is all about. The confrontation. The USFL League Championship next Sunday night live at 8 Eastern on ABC.
Dave Trott will kick off. Number 80, Thad McPadden, is the principal return man. Larry Douglas, the other man back there with him. This is a high, deep kickoff, a yard deep in the end zone to McPadden. Gets it outside. Mark McCants pursues him to the sidelines, and finally he is brought down at about the 28-yard line by Bill Hardy. Number 21, Chuck Fusina now with Tim Brandt.
Having a big day. As Swanee was saying, that you made the play, stepping up away from the blitz and avoiding the sack, but you're giving credit elsewhere.
Well, I'm giving credit to our quarterback coach. I think Carl Smith come up with a good game plan today. We knew they'd be playing a lot of man, and Kelvin's our fastest player. So he said, hey, get it out to Kelvin, and I just had to step up in the pocket and get it to him.
Couldn't have figured it was going to be this easy, though.
It's not that easy. Let me tell you, they're a great team, and we're going to have to play awfully hard to win this football game.
All right, Keith.
Tough old competitor, isn't he?
Yes, he is. That pass play was the longest in Stars history, 70 yards to Kelvin Bryant. Now it's time to push out and see, show some of his character and get his team back on the
Joey
road.
Jones is available, and he's got the ball at the 46. But once again, the Birmingham receiver is nailed on the tackle.
And
Garcia Lane hit him.
And there's a very simple reason, Keith. What the secondary is doing is giving them a lot of room in front. They're not allowing the receivers to come up and pressure them. When they make the break right there, now the defensive back is driving, and right there, he times it out to make the hit. Every receiver, as long as they play it that way, is going to take a lot of punishment in this ball game this afternoon.
From the 46, Stout throws again. Gets it off, and the pass is caught just over midfield at the Baltimore 49-yard line. And the man is Jim Smith.
A 5-yard pickup. Tackle made by Antonio Gibson, number 23.
A lot of former Pittsburgh Steelers out here today, Keith. Riley Dodge, Cliff Stout, Jim Smith, David Trout on the other side, Willie Collier, Ron Colder.
Yeah.
6:10 to go in the first half. Baltimore dominated. Second down and about 5. Stout lobs it to Joe Cribbs. And Cribbs puts his head down and into Scott Werner, a nickelback out of the University of Georgia. And he's got another Birmingham first down at the Baltimore 32.
Yeah, Warner was a starter into the acquisition of Jonathan Sutton. Sutton came on to be a starter at cornerback, and they moved Antonio Gibson inside. But he comes into those passing situations. Joe Cribbs not afraid to take anybody on. Drops his head, stays low. Gives Scott Warner a little shot.
good protection. All day. Now it goes to Daryl Mason on a comeback. Good. At the 14-yard line.
You give credit to the secondary of the Baltimore Stars. They played it tight, very close, but the offensive line for Birmingham does a great job. Cliff Stout has all kinds of time. Daryl Mason breaking his route, running right back to the passer. Receivers are taught this constantly. Come back to the ball, to the quarterback when he's in trouble.
Well, he's covered. Mason has good foot speed. He's covered by Mike Johnson, who is the fastest of the linebackers for the Stars, and he just simply came back and got away from him. First down, Birmingham, 14-yard line. And Stout still throwing. Pursuit's on. Loops it off. Sets up a screen. Cribbs has got it. Tripped up. Number 56, George Cooper, saved the touchdown.
Oh, he sure did. He sure did. That's a play that comes from the booth upstairs, Keith. You look at all the pursuit that Cliff Stout gets when he rolls out, and the coach calls it down and says, run that screen. Take the rollout, throw the screen back to the other side. But here comes Cooper, right on the heels of Joe Cribbs as he's about to cut. He goes down, and Mike Lust jumps on top of him for insurance.
Ball is marked at the 9. They've got to go to the 4 to get a first down. It's 2nd and 5. Stout started out 1 for 6, but since then he's run it up to 9 out of 10. Throwing again. Joey Jones, and Jones goes inside. Stout throws outside. And when they do that, it don't work.
Yeah, it's real dangerous. Cliff Stout feeling that pressure. That one is picked off by the corner, Keith. He might be on his way to the
touchdown unless he faints.
Yeah, it's a touchdown, and after that, it's just a marathon because he could keep running, and nobody's going to catch up to him.
They're going to call a timeout here. Birmingham is stopping the clock at 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. There's some confusion apparently as to what kind of a play they wanted. Raleigh Dodge indicating to Joey Jones, who is coming off the field, that he wanted something different. So they will talk about it. And the Stallions now will have one timeout remaining, I believe. ABC's Monday Night Baseball, the New York Mets and the Cincinnati Reds. Mets starting to turn things around a little bit. And, of course, Pete Rose is still chasing Ty Cobb's record. Cincinnati has cooled off some after a very vigorous run back in the month of June. Some of you in the country will be seeing the Milwaukee Brewers against the California Angels. The Angels, the leaders in the west of the American League. Do you get the sense, Swanee, that Birmingham is beginning to turn things just a little bit?
They're starting to bring things back, getting more protection from their offensive line, finding the receivers downfield. But you also have to realize that Baltimore is giving that to them. They're giving them the passes, not too deep, just short passes, preferring to unload on the receivers. They haven't been doing a lot of the blitzing that they're known for, especially deep in their own territory. One of these days he'll grow up, get a little bit taller, and he can look over the fence.
Yeah. He'd be a War Eagle or a Tider or something like that in this part of the country. It is 2 timeouts remaining, 2, because they were not assessed a timeout earlier. They was ruled as an injured player timeout.
Yeah.
3rd down and 5. Stout throws for Joe Cribbs, and he can't pull it down. And there's a heady play by George Cooper, the outside linebacker. Cooper read that play as being Cribbs all the way. The minute he looked at the quarterback, and he just ran right out there with Joe.
Yeah, he did a very good job of covering it. And I don't know, this is a real tough pass to throw. Cooper coming over, cutting off the throwing lane. That ball has to go right over the head of Joe Cribbs, and he's trying to turn his whole body around to see the ball to make the catch. Very, very difficult, even though it's a short pass. On
4th down, they're going. They're down 21-0. They want the touchdown before half.
Might be a blitz on. There is.
He gets it away for Jones, who lays out and can't reach it, and Stout is laid out by number 58, George Jamison. Kugler was coming up the middle, but it was Jameson that leveled him. And so the Stallions come away empty.
They brought everybody. You see the shot from our end zone camera. You see Mills coming up the center, all the pressure. Kugler on the inside, pressure on the outside. Joey Jones is open, but because of the pressure, Cliff Stout cannot set his feet to throw the football. You see he's constantly backing up. Never has a chance to slow down, to plant those feet and throw from using his legs. It's all arms and just a little bit too far for Joey Jones.
And so the Stars take over at their own 9 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the first half. The winner goes to the title game Sunday night in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Kelvin Bryant sliding along the line, looking for something to open up, and it doesn't. He gets a yard.
Number 44, Kelvin Bryant on the carry. A 2-yard pickup. Shot made by number
Oakland,
99.
Baltimore, as you said yesterday, if it works out that way, will be as close to a rematch as you could get from the original title game between Michigan and Philadelphia.
Well, the Dodge not wanting to see that happen.
Ain't over till it's over.
That's right. Defense needs to come up with a big play, get his team back into this ball game.
This is Alan Harvin. And Allen gets it up to about the 18 before he's taken down.
Number 22, Alan Harvin on the carry. Number 56.
It is important, Keith, for the Birmingham team to realize that they're behind by 21 points. They've got a long way to go to get back in this ball game or to possibly get on top in this ball game. But Raleigh Dutch knows he can't panic. He can't afford to make too many drastic changes in his game plan at this point. He still has time to bring his team along carefully and back into this ball game, but they have to come up with a big play.
On 3rd and a yard. They power it up the middle. And get the first down.
And a first down.
Harvin, who is about 5'9", Allen just sort of disappears when he sticks his head in that bunch of big horses in front of him, and he's tough to handle over a 1 or a 2 yard span.
Yeah, he's a small man in height, but when he hurt both his knees while playing at Cincinnati and for a while was running around campus in a wheelchair or on crutches, both legs being bandaged up and in cast, to rehabilitate, he did a lot of weight work, got a lot stronger, and so at 5'9", he's 205 pounds.
Fusina is walking away to the sidelines as we hit the 2-minute mark. 2 minutes to go in the first half of play. And right now, the Baltimore Stars are very much in control of things.
2-minute warning.
Kelvin Bryant with a wet towel on his head, resting on the sidelines. I still question, as you do, just how physically sound he is.
Well, you know, if they keep playing like this, you won't have to be in great shape to play the whole game. They've only run 21 plays, 10 passes, and 11 runs.
Here comes Harvin up the middle. Alan Harvin, big run, and gets it out to the 37-yard line before he is finally dragged down. And right now, the Baltimore offensive front is whipping Birmingham's defensive people.
They're taking it to him soundly. Raleigh's going to have to really assess what his team has done in the first half while he's in there at halftime, make some adjustments, and get his team motivated to come back up here and make up this deficit.
This is Gary Worthy carrying the ball. And Worthy doesn't get much out of it. Let's go to Tim Brent.
Keith, the main problem down here for Kelvin has been the heat. Right now, he's extremely dizzy. He came off the field. They packed his wrists in ice. They put ice on his head. He's been fed a lot of liquids right now. He's putting his sweatbands back on. He says he feels better. He's going to try to get back in the ball game, but he felt dizzy, and it has been the heat.
Well,
this has been the pattern all year.
Yes, it has been. And the heat affects everyone. And when you know you're coming into a hot weather game, you load up on the sodium, potassium, make sure that when you start to perspire and sweat out there, you've got an ample supply of those minerals that you lose in those situations to keep you going.
Birmingham having spent the timeout, and they have 1 remaining. We'll have some highlights from yesterday's Oakland-Memphis game, and we'll visit with Birmingham quarterback Cliff Stout. back over some of the highlights, and it's been all Baltimore so far. In a sense, the word Baltimore is a little misleading in this whole star situation because they live in Philadelphia. They play in College Park, and the support at College Park, frankly, has not been very good.
No, it hasn't. Just tough, I think, for Baltimore fans to get excited not knowing if this team is really a Baltimore team or a Philadelphia team. They just don't feel like it's a home team.
Bryant is back in the lineup now. And
So
looked like, looked like Chuck might have had trouble handling it that time. Ron Padgett was there about the time the ball was there.
And a 2-yard loss.
shooting through the gap there, but Tusina able to hang on to the ball. That brings up a big play situation now for the defense for Birmingham. 3rd down, a lot of yards to go to pick up a first.
And you got a timeout call. This is called by the Stallions, so that will leave them with none.
Trying to conserve as much time as possible.
1:27 if they hold them here, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 15. Then they'll force the punt and have a little time left to try to get something out of it. Raleigh disdained the field goal a few minutes ago, trying to go for the touchdown, and came up empty.
Well, I think it's a blatant example of having to have to change his game plan. You know, take more chances to get his team back into this game.
Bryant is slowed down behind the line of scrimmage, but gets away and runs the ball up across the 40.
That was Bill Rowe, number 52, who had a chance to make the tackle back at the 30-yard line. Couldn't really hang on to him. 6'3", 235. Good size middle linebacker, good speed, but he just didn't have the arm strength to hang on to Kelvin.
Landetta comes in now to punt the ball. His first one was a 34-yarder. It's less than a minute to play. The clock running at 55 seconds. Thad McFadden is deep for Birmingham.
No, it's not. It's all right. Flip.
And Baltimore taking their sweet time here. Let the clock run down some. It's coming up on 10 seconds to go on the 30-second clock and 40 seconds to go on the game clock. Nice snap for Landetta, but he gets it out. And McFadden picks it up and comes back to the 31. 36-yard punt by Landetta after he had to jump up in the air to catch the ball. Now with 27 seconds, Birmingham gets the ball with no timeouts. And you know that Baltimore will go into their deep center field secondary.
I'm looking out there, number 25, Scott Warner. He's coming off the field. Who do they have down there?
Well, Mike Lush will be playing center field.
Yeah, they still have the regular defense in, but they're going to get back. Probably play a 2-deep zone with 5 people covering short underneath.
That's exactly what they've got. Stout goes long with it for Joey Jones, and he's got it. And Jones is out of bounds, killing the clock down at the 22-yard line of Baltimore and 19 seconds to play.
Excellent pass into the seams of the open area by Cliff Stout. Jim Moore can't believe the defense gave that one up. Little Joey Jones out of Alabama, the University of Alabama, comes up with an exceptional catch here on the sideline. He makes it 47 yards on the play, wisely fakes inside and goes out of bounds to stop the clock with 19 seconds left to play here in the first half.
Ball is just short of the 22-yard line. Kohler, Smith, and Jones are the wide people. Bowles is the blocking back. Smith, but Stout now has to run for his life. Throws it, Toller grabs it, and tumbles out of bounds, again killing the clock at the 7-yard line of Baltimore and 10 seconds to play.
Heads-up play there by Cliff Stout. Cliff Stout had room to run. But what he does is just head towards the out of bounds, holds back,
Look at
and
Smith,
then runs. But Jim Smith, wide open, coming across the center here. Open briefly in the seams of that zone defense.
About the time he broke open, though, Cliff Stout was running for his life. First and goal at the 7 with 10 seconds. He's got to be looking Smith. He throws it for Smith, and it's too high, and there's got to be a penalty on it, I would think. Because Jimmy was just rattled all over the place by Antonio Gibson.
It looked like Gibson was trying to climb his back like he climbed a ladder. Jim Smith heading for the corner.
That'll be half the distance, but the more important thing as far as Birmingham is concerned, now only 4 seconds remain.
That's right. Let's see, take a look. Number 23 is Antonio Gibson. He just reaches out and tries to grab Smitty.
23 on the defense, half the distance, first down.
And in the eyes of the official, that was a catchable pass by Jim Smith. If that ball was not a catchable pass, then the pass interference would not be called. The official would wave off the flag. And I think Jim Moore might be yelling to that effect over there on the sideline.
Well, it's ruled holding on Gibson, which is half the distance. So that puts the ball down near the 3.
That's one of the tough calls to make as an official. You have to try and decide whether or not that receiver can really get to that pass. And in Jim Smith's case, I think they gave him the benefit of the doubt because of his talent.
They got one play to score. No good. Everybody in town knew what play they were going to try to make, and Scott Werner stepped in front of Jim Smith and knocked the ball away.
That was a play that was executed because you do your homework. We have seen Jim Smith run that play time and time again throughout the season, and he has been successful running them for touchdowns. But that time, Scott Warner, after seeing it on film, Cliff Stout staring Jim Smith down again, just waits. Smitty wasn't coming back to the ball there. He's waiting on the pass. Scott Warner takes advantage of it by cutting across and making the play.
Give you another idea of the frustration of Birmingham. Cliff Stout threw for 180 yards in the second quarter and no points.
It's a long first half for the Stallions this afternoon.
And at halftime, the Baltimore Stars 21, the Birmingham Stallions nothing. We'll be back with the halftime activities after this message and the word from our local stations. We're at halftime in the second semifinal playoff game of 1985 in the USFL, with Baltimore out to a dominating 21-0 lead over the Birmingham Stallions. They jumped out in front on an interception by Jonathan Sutton, and they haven't been headed yet. The winner of this ball game will go on to play the Oakland Invaders, the Western Conference champions, next Sunday night in New Jersey. Yesterday at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Oakland got on the board early in the second quarter. The first quarter was scoreless as John Williams turned outside and banged in from 7 yards to make it 7-0. A Duncan field goal for Memphis, 7-3 Oakland. And then Anthony Parker on this draw play bolts 23 yards, and for the moment at least, things looked a little brighter for the Showboats as they took a 10-7 lead. But in the third quarter, things started to turn around for them. Duncan kicked the field goal to make it 13-7, and then Anthony Carter with this remarkable play puts Oakland back on top 14-13, and from there they took off. Carter again on this reception behind 2 Memphis defenders to make it 21-13 Oakland. And then in the fourth quarter, Hebert scored from a yard out on a quarterback sneak to make it 28-13. Anthony Parker again, another draw play. This one goes 27 yards. It's a 28-19 ball game. And the Memphis Showboats decided to go for 2, trying to make it 28-21. And Greg Moser is called for a pick play. Though Derek Crawford caught it, Moser was nailed with a flag. His second call against him in the ball game on a pick play. And the rule is that you challenge only when the status of the ball is involved. That was a foul, therefore no challenge allowed. The 2-point waved off, and that's the way it ended. Final score, the Oakland Invaders 28 and the Memphis Showboats 19. One of the things about the United States Football League that I particularly have liked from the very beginning is the fact that it gives people a chance to play and people a chance to coach. Otherwise, so many good coaches and players are victims of numbers in the other league. Cliff Stout is one of those who has had an opportunity to play, and he appreciates it. Tim Brandt has the story.
After breaking all the collegiate passing records of Ron Jaworski at Youngstown State, most of Cliff Stout's NFL career was spent playing behind Terry Bradshaw. The competitive fires burned, but frustration reigned.
As far as I know, I'm the only player in the history of any sport to earn their retirement pension without stepping foot on the field. It's the wrong way to do it, but at least I was known for something at the time. Plus, I got 2 Super Bowl rings for not doing anything except hanging around with the right bunch of guys.
When he finally got to play in 1983, Stout led the Steelers to a 9-2 record before the bottom fell out. The team lost 5 of its final 6, and the steel workers who lived vicariously through the players booed him out of Pittsburgh. He went from one steel town to another, but in Birmingham, the Stouts found a home. Ironically, in his 3rd USFL game, the Stallions played in Pittsburgh.
I think what put me over the hump, and I think what put this team over the hump, and has carried us through the last 2 years, was the game in Pittsburgh. Statistically, for me, it was a horrible day. I think I was 2 for 16, but I ran for a lot of yards. And when we came out and the fans started booing, the whole team came out around me and started waving their arms up in the air. They wanted to hear more, and they loved it. And I think that really pulled us together as a team. From the Birmingham Stallions team in '83 to what we had on the field that day, I think there were about 24 new players on their roster. And we really didn't know each other. But that day, we all pulled together and said, hey, these people can't beat us. And if they can't beat us, in conditions like we had that day, everything going against us, we knew we had a pretty darn good football team.
It has become a closely knit unit led by head coach Raleigh Dutch. There's a strong family-type atmosphere centering around Cliff Stout.
I've never had so much fun in my life as I have the last 2 years. Raleigh's made it fun. The situation, I think, in the USFL is different. Everywhere you go, the guys on the teams are just having a blast. It's like playing a game again. It's not a business where you're going to your job every morning at 8 o'clock. We all take it seriously, but for some reason, there's more of a looseness around the league.
The financial situation of the Stallions has been well documented, the future uncertain, but Cliff and Laura are optimistic, knowing now they can live and play in any league.
I think with what I've done here, I've taken the black mark off my name that possibly I had after the season in Pittsburgh in '83. I've gotten a lot of experience, and I think I've been very successful, and I've proven once again that above all the other statistics, I win. So I don't think I'd have much of a problem going back, but I really don't want to.
I really, really like Birmingham. We'd like to make this our home permanently. So I hope that everything works out. I'm sure it will.
3 championship teams in the last 3 years for Cliff. He owns 2 Super Bowl rings, and yet a USFL title would carry a special meaning.
The 2 Super Bowl rings mean quite a lot, but I really didn't have anything to do with it. You talk about how it takes 45 guys to win, but if you're the guy that's just running the scout squad all week long, it doesn't mean as much to you when, like I say, all I got to do is stand on the sideline and say, hey, Terry, great pass, and they give me a Super Bowl ring. It's great, and I wouldn't trade it for many things, but I would trade both of them for us to win the championship this year. This would mean more than anything. It's something that I've been a part of, a major part of, and something I've worked for, we've worked for as a team, and it would just it would make my career complete.
And we're at halftime at Legion Field in Birmingham with Baltimore leading Birmingham and dominating the Stallions 21-0 at halftime. The USFL on ABC. Today's game brought to you by Denny's. Denny's in the morning. We're cooking breakfast for you. And by L.A. from Anheuser-Busch, a great tasting premium beer with half the alcohol of our regular beer. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say. 3 touchdowns by the Baltimore Stars. The first one sort of set in a shock. And frankly, the Stallions have not recovered from it.
Well, we felt defense would play a major role in the game, and right away the defense for the Baltimore Stars made its presence felt when Jonathan Sutton, number 26, just really reads Cliff Stout all the way. You see Cliff Stout there looking to his right, looking for the receiver. Sutton read it all the way, steps right in front of the receiver, Toller, and he goes down the sideline untouched for the first touchdown in the ball game.
And early on in the first quarter, it was apparent that Chuck Fusina was going to have time today because the offensive guys were just simply not letting anybody in, and as a result, here's a 30-yarder to Victor Harrison.
Well, if Sutton's interception touchdown was a gray cloud coming over the Birmingham team, this was a lightning when he threw this pass downfield for a 30-yard catch and touchdown that really struck the hearts of the Birmingham Stallions.
And here comes the real killer.
The thunder in this little scenario. Boy. Bill Rowe, coming from his middle linebacker position, is in the wrong position to play Kelvin Bryant. He probably thought he'd come back inside the crossing pattern like he had done earlier. But Kelvin Bryant stayed to the outside. Chuck Fusina stepped up into the pocket away from pressure. And Kelvin Bryant had an easy run down the sideline for the third touchdown.
We have the situation now where a lot of people felt that the Memphis Showboats yesterday, with their aggressive, tough defensive people, would be able to penetrate the Oakland offensive front and cause them trouble. But the Oakland people up front yesterday played so well, it was like they'd put up a new door. And here we've got the same thing.
You know, you never anticipated that the Baltimore Stars, number one, would come out throwing the ball this much, and that they would have this kind of success. I thought coming into the ball game that the defensive secondary could really play them much tougher man-to-man coverage and zone coverage and allow their linebackers and defensive line to put the pressure on Chuck Fusina. The offensive line has really taken the game to the defensive line of the Birmingham Stallions, and it's been no contest here in the first half.
Okay. Well, what do you do? I know you're down 21-0. Your team has just whipped you up one side of the field and down the other, and I know you talk about character, you talk about persevering. I know all the cliches, and I know all the basic truths of it. And the basic truth of this right now is the game belongs to Baltimore.
Well, the game has belonged to Baltimore in the first half. If you're Birmingham, I think you just pull your belt back, cinch it up another knot there, and just really take it to them. Those 3 touchdowns are good plays by the Baltimore team, but they're big plays. You can't keep making big plays all day long, or you hope you can't keep making big plays all day long against a good defense. So the defense has to take away the long touchdown pass, 70 yards, 30 yards, and interceptions for touchdowns.
You get into the law of averages, then you figure that Baltimore's got to make 1 mistake or 2 before the day is done. So one team waits. The Oakland Invaders out home on the West Coast. They're going to leave on Tuesday to make their trek back to New Jersey and have their final 3 days to prepare for the championship game, which will be played at 8 o'clock next Sunday night, which we'll have for you on ABC. Right now, it would seem that the Baltimore Stars have at least a half a ticket, a coat. Cliff Stout was bloodied in the first half. He's still wearing the same shirt to remind him of the punishment he's taken. He wants to give some himself here in the second half, but he'll have to wait a while, because Birmingham will kick to Baltimore, with the Stars leading 21-0, and Miller hits it high, and the ball hangs for Gary Worthy at the 1-yard line. Worthy out to the 25, brought down by Walton and Robin Earl. So Chuck Fusina and company come trotting on the field, and here are your halftime stats.
Everything is pretty darn even except for that score. Birmingham actually has possessed the ball longer, just over 3 minutes. Crucial turnover in the ball game resulted in a touchdown for the Baltimore Stars. And when you talk about turnovers, those are great opportunities. And yesterday's ball game, it was the Memphis Showboats that couldn't take advantage of theirs, but Baltimore just jumped all on top of that pass for the touchdown.
Scott Fitzke, who was the leading receiver during the course of the season for the Stars with 73 receptions, saw the ball 1 time in the first half. Birmingham's really working on him. Fusina throws on first down and goes big. And it is incomplete, and a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage. I thought it might be picked off for a moment.
Chuck Clanton, number 24.
Holding, offense, number 50. First down.
Center, Oates.
Yep. Bart Oates. You heard Chuck Fusina tell Tim Brand earlier in the ball game that Kelvin Bryant's the fastest guy. Right here, he just threw the ball up there, was hoping that Kelvin could get under it, but Chuck Clanton had a better chance. Kelvin tipped it. Chuck Clanton couldn't find the handle on it, and Birmingham accepts the penalty and moves them back.
It's now first down and 20. The ball coming back to the 15-yard line, just starting the third quarter of play. And Birmingham's mountain is pretty high, 21-0 Stars.
They can get some big plays out of their defense and field position. They can turn it around very quickly, but it is a tough task.
Need some mistakes by the Stars. They haven't made any so far. And there's a solid defensive play right there. Big Doug Smith. Presence is felt really for the first time this afternoon. Smith, a 300-pounder from Auburn, and he stepped in there and took a handle on Alan Harbin with a good deal of authority. They now put in the nickelback alignment for the Birmingham defense. The ball is out near the 16. It is third down and 19. Or, excuse me, second down and 19.
Jim Moore using his tight ends to shuttle plays in and out.
3 wide. Penalty flag. Run out of time. 5 more yards.
On the offense, still second down.
And backs him up one more time, so a few breaks.
Here's a remarkable stat amongst the trivia. But the Stars have never scored in the third quarter in a playoff game, and that's particularly astounding because I had to go back and look. I didn't believe it when I first saw it. That remarkable game with Chicago. Remember the first year when they were down so much and came back to win in overtime?
Yes, they did.
But it's true. You've seen her throwing it. Fitzke's out there, and Scott cradles it in for a first down. My goodness, he turned Dennis Woodbury around, and Fusina's pass was as light as a sparrow's feather on a spring morning.
And Scott Fitzke is not that fast a receiver. He's a controlled runner, runs precise routes, tries to set you up, man-to-man coverage. He just had Woodbury turned around. Woodbury had his hands full, just trying to catch up to Fitzke. Right here, he never really does. Fitzke making the diving catch, staying in bounds. Another
How
one
many
of those
championships have been won by people who couldn't run a 4.340? Bryant is cut down at about the line of scrimmage.
Looking back at that bit of information about Baltimore never having scored in a playoff game in the third quarter, seems like it's an opportune time for the Birmingham Stallions to take advantage if their defense can hold.
Well, they had him backed up and let him get off the hook just a minute ago.
Yes, they did.
Come on,
Woodbury just got whipped on the play.
Victimized.
You stand with it?
Second down and 10. Bryant's trapped. And he'll lose another yard. And he took a pretty good lick that time. It's big Doug Smith jumping on him.
And he was running away from Doug Smith, saw nothing to his left, stopped, tried to go upfield. Doug Smith just stayed there. You see Doug Smith on the ground there. He'll get up and come back over to make the tackle. Comiskey couldn't get out there fast enough for Kelvin Bryant.
Ball is now at the 36. And it's third down and about 12.
Okay.
11:50 to go in the third quarter. They've run out of time again.
Yeah, he called the timeout.
Oh, the clock shows 0.
Baltimore, so first time out, get away from me.
Oh, that was Ron Padgett going over to tell the official that there was no time on the 30-second clock, and he heard the official tell him to get away from me. Stars lead 21.
It'll be third down and close to 12 yards. With 11:44 to go in the third quarter, Baltimore's ball leading 21-0. And the Stallion defense burned on a looping pass to Fitzke a little while ago to get Stars upfield. Fusina's pass is away. Collier is there, and he's got another first down for the Stars. My goodness.
Chuck Fusina was awfully close to having thrown that pass beyond the line of scrimmage.
I'm not sure that he did it.
Yeah, neither am I. Let's watch the isolation. There's Willie Collier coming off the line of scrimmage. Fusina did a great job stepping away from pressure. He thought he was going to be sacked. You see him right there, jumping up in the air, throwing the ball.
Willie Collier close to the line of scrimmage.
Very close, very close.
You can get away with it sometimes because everybody's watching the progress of the ball. Not everybody, but sometimes it's marginal. So now the Stars are camped on the Stallions' 48-yard line. And Chuck's throwing again. Goes short with it, and Bryant loses the football, and Birmingham's got it. Ron Padgett comes out of there with a football.
Ron Padgett coming up with the big play. We said that Birmingham needs to get back in this ball game in a hurry. Creates the first, comes up with the first turnover.
Bill Rowe, I think, is going to hit him here, though.
Right here. They fake this draw, try to come to him with the screen, and Bill Rowe knocks it loose. I don't know if that's not Rowe that comes up with the ball, too.
Might have been. But anyway, it is Birmingham's ball. First down at the 45, and they make a break for themselves. Let's see if they can cash it in. Stout is throwing it for Joey Jones just as far as he can, and it is incomplete. Garcia Lane running right with him.
Stride for stride. He also had help from the middle of the field from number 27, Mike Lush. Chris Stout hung that ball out to the outside, hoping that Joey Jones could get there, but he was completely screened off from the ball. You see there, 27, preventing him from coming to the inside, and Garcia Lane having control of the outside.
Birmingham's only run the ball game 9 times so far. Of course, they got down early. First quarter, 14-0. And that tends to warp things a little from what you plan. Here comes Joe Cribbs. And Joe runs into Sam Mills and stops up around the 48.
Fans are booing here. They thought that the defensive line should have been called for being offsides on that play. But apparently, by the non-call of the officials, they got back on their side in time.
That was a 3-yard pickup by Joe and his longest of the game. His previous carries had all been for 2 yards.
Third down, we talked about capitalizing on mistakes. They need this to capitalize on the recovery of the fumble.
Birmingham has not converted a third down yet. There's one to Jim Smith, first time today, and Smitty is down to about the 43. There were 2 people there, too, Lane and Antonio Gibson, but he still was able to shake himself loose.
Yeah, and Mike Lush and Sam Mills weren't far behind, Keith.
It's been a gang of red shirts around that ball every time it gets past the line of scrimmage.
All afternoon. Very well-coached defensive unit. They play like one man. Vince Tobin is their defensive coordinator.
Ball at the Baltimore 43. First down for the Stallions, and Stout rolls to buy some time, but has to throw the ball away as number 67 was hammering after him. Pete Kugler, the big nose tackle.
Pete Kugler came to this team, then the Philadelphia Stars. He came right after having played with the San Francisco 49ers, being in the playoffs. I think that year they went to the Super Bowl also, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was.
They did. Then he came right out of the Super Bowl into a Philadelphia Stars uniform and back to the championship game. And after the championship game, they went to London to play a football game, but Pete Kugler said enough is enough.
Second and 10. Ball too high, intended for Toller, Ken Toller.
Cliff Stout is taking a lot of punishment, standing back there in that pocket, trying to get the ball away. Sam Mills came in there, was blocked, went down to the ground, got back up, and then came back in to get the pressure on Cliff Stout. This is what that grass drill does for you, where you get the guys to go down on all fours right here, then get back up in a hurry and keep pursuing the ball. This is exactly what Sam Mills does to put the hit on Cliff Stout.
And it's 3rd and 10. They give it to Joe Cribbs, and Cribbs is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Blowing in is Buddy Moore, playing at nose tackle in relief of Pete Kugler, 260-pounder out of Eastern Kentucky. And it's 4th down back on the 45.
Well, they had them both in there that time, Pete Kugler and Buddy Moore. And Buddy Moore just made a great play. Cribbs had some blocking out in front of him. try to use it and sprint to the outside, but again, we're seeing how fast some of these big people are.
Moore is a designated pass rusher. He can really find his way through the traffic. Parsons in the punt, 4th of the day. Obviously, he's going to try to knock this one deep and kill it deep. Spins it to the corner. Caught, however, by Lane. And Garcia Lane brings it back out to the 23. So when it looked like Parsons might be able to knock the ball out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, Lane took the play away from him and brought it back to the 23. Well, it's been sort of an even scuffle here in the second half. But there's only one thing wrong with that for Birmingham. They're down by 21 points.
Yeah, being even means you're not making up ground, and that's fine as far as Baltimore is concerned.
Stars will go from the 23. And Alan Harvin bangs along and gets it out near the 27. Oakland and Baltimore met early in the season out on the West Coast. They played an overtime ball game, an entire overtime period, and wound up tied at 17. This is Bryant. And Spencer gets a hold of him and brings him down at the 30, 3 yards short of the first down.
We talk about Kelvin Bryant's instinctive running ability, how smooth he is. That time you get a chance to see just how strong he also is. Number 22, David Dumars, had him around the knees, the ankles. And Spencer came over to make contact with him. Yeah, he still took Spencer and Dumars on and drove for another 3 yards on the play.
Kelvin has run for 45, caught passes for 102. His total production, 147. That's called impact. Busina throwing on 3rd and 3, ducks away from the pressure. And big number 70 can't run him down, and now Chuck Hook slides out of bounds, and there's a penalty flag.
That's a real tough call, Keith. I don't see it as being a spear.
Personal foul, spearing on the defense, first down.
We'll take another look at it. Busina starts to run, he goes into his hook slide. A spear is when you take your helmet, you dive into the player using that head to cause more punishment. We'll see right here if this is a spear.
Oh, that's
boy.
not a spear.
That is not even close. That's not even close.
What in the world is he looking at?
I have no idea. I mean, this is
Man's head
all
didn't even
shoulder.
go down at all.
His head doesn't go down. He doesn't even exert any extra force in the blow. His body falls on top of it.
That's ridiculous. Alan Harvin spun around and hangs in and picks up a couple of yards.
Now, tempers are going to start to flare. The Birmingham Stallions will be upset at the call. You see Irv Eatman, he'll pop over there in a minute because he will be a man who will come over to challenge anybody if they take on the running backs of this offensive unit.
You know, I was thinking about the calls on the picks yesterday. Your basketball, the pick play, you got your drawers on, you're out there playing with no clothes on, and the pick play is the basic.
Now, I've seen little guards.
And here are these great big macho guys out here in armor, for crying out loud, and you can't run a pick play. It's the silliest rule in football. Inside, Harvin. And he's got the ball just about midfield.
Now, a play like that and a penalty, Keith, may not have any effect on the overall outcome of the game because the Stars are very soundly taking it to the Stallions. But you hate to see two teams that make it to a semifinal game, make it to the playoffs at all, and have those kind of calls take the game away from the players. It's a distraction.
It's 3rd down and 5. 4:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Busina throw it. Chuck is hit as he delivers, and the pass is overthrown. Pass was intended for Willie Collier.
And That's a good thing, too, because Dennis Woodbury, number 21, had fallen down on the play. Had Fusina been able to set and really take his time to get that ball away, we might have seen Willie Collier running down the field for a touchdown.
Well, the Birmingham defense has come alive here in the third quarter and have done their job. The offense is yet to be productive. McFadden is the deep man for Sean Landetta's punt. Sean has kicked twice, 34-36. Kicks it away from McFadden, but he runs it down, and he'll come back some with it. Oh, he'll come back quite a bit with it. Fumbles the football, and Baltimore, nope, they're going to call him down. Going to call him down.
They're calling him down?
Yep, they're calling him down. Looks like he got Victor Harrison hurt on the play, too, downfield.
Is that who it is down on the field?
Tom Donovan. No, it's Tom Donovan. I guess he was down.
I don't know.
Shoulder was down.
It's close.
Right now, they're tending to Tom Donovan, shaken up on the play downfield.
I think he's going to challenge it, Keith. We'll be back to find out if the challenge.
All right, we're back at Legion Field. Jim Mora has challenged. They had a look at the replay, and this one clearly shows it is a fumble, and it's Baltimore's ball.
Thad McFadden is hit, and you'll see the ball pop loose before he hits the ground, before his knees or shoulders hit the ground. Clearly a fumble. The challenge upheld. He does not lose his timeout, indeed gains possession of the football.
And Joe Happy, the center from Georgia, comes up with a recovery, and it is Baltimore ball at the 36 of Birmingham. It was clearly a fumble. From this side, you couldn't tell. From the other side, you could.
Well, that's the second turnover in the ball game for Birmingham. And you see the Baltimore Stars, how they forced turnovers in the last 3 ball games. Let's see if they can make it, turn it into points.
Fusina fumbles the ball, and Chuck gets a bounce and gets it back. He had Riley and Harvin lined up behind him. He was trying to turn to give it to one of them and never got away with a snap.
You need a certain amount of luck in this game of football. There was Thad McFadden, does a good job on the punt return, moving it downfield. Then he fumbles it and loses the football. Here, a bad snap. Nobody from Birmingham around. The ball bounces right behind the offensive line of the Baltimore Stars. Chuck Fusina was able to recover his own fumble.
And it's second down, 13.
Okay.
Harvin with it. Rowe misses him. And he is finally taken down by Mickey Sutton.
Mickey Sutton doing a good job. Bill Rowe was being blocked as he tried to extend his body out to tackle Harvin. Harvin got away from that one. Number 25, Mickey Sutton, out of Montana, comes over to make the play.
Ball is just about the 39 of Birmingham.
Oh, shit.
And they've got to go to where? They've got to go to the 26 for the first down. So they need 13. Deep drop by Fusina. Got a man wide open down the middle, and Willie Collier dropped the ball.
Herb Spencer came in on the blitz.
Penalty flags back around the quarterback area.
It's been called against Baltimore. I didn't see a signal. I just saw him indicate it was against Baltimore.
Probably holding.
Probably.
The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Birmingham declines the penalty. They want Baltimore to kick that ball away on 4th and 13 so they can get a hold of it and try to do something with it with 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And the Stars leading comfortably 21-0.
Sean Landetta, not short on confidence, coming in. They're going to try and hurry up and punt this football before Birmingham can get set.
Kicked very well yet. 34, 36, 33. He probably knocked this one out of the county as it bounced. Oh, look here. That goes in the end zone. He did not get a favorable bounce. Mark McCants was downfield trying to get a hold of it and couldn't get to it in time. That'll go as a 39-yard punt with 1 minute and 58 seconds to play in the third quarter. And it could be Baltimore still won't score.
You're not just another face a long way to another place.
In all our years of flying, United's never forgotten that making you number one is what keeps us number one.
We want you to know, my friend, you're not just flying, you're flying the friendly sky.
You wouldn't be spotting me now.
We're gonna try. Flying high across the land, we're giving you everything we can, and we got more to give along the way. Wherever you go, we go too. We've got this land united for you. You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly sky.
It's a piece of cake.
What's the ground? Flying the friendly skies.
Saturday, the most prestigious stop on the ladies' tour, the U.S. Women's Open Golf Championship. And on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Olympic gold medalist Tyrell Biggs in his 4th pro bout live. Plus the Firecracker 400, all Saturday on ABC Sports.
Crowd looking for shade on an 86-degree day in Birmingham's Legion Field, and the home folks haven't had a whole lot to cheer about so far. Birmingham's ball, first down at the 20. And Stout comes up throwing. Jimmy Smith. And he's short of the first down as he is brought down around the 29.
Guess what, Keith?
What?
There's a minute, 45 seconds in the third period and counting.
That's strange.
Not a single point scored in this period. Stars in all their playoff games have now not scored. Well, shortly will not have scored in the third quarter. More importantly, in this ball game, with that trend being set by the Stars, the Stallions couldn't take advantage of it.
Nope. 2nd and 1, they go for the first down and get it with Joe Cribbs carrying. Ball marked at the 33. The Western Conference champions, Oakland Invaders, waiting for a winner of this one, and right now it reads Baltimore for the championship game of the USFL, 8 o'clock Eastern time next Sunday night. Stout's pass is away and incomplete. Jim Smith was being prodded all the way by George Cooper.
George Cooper playing underneath Jim Smith made sure that if Cliff Stout were going to complete this pass, he'd have to thread the needle, make it perfect, and that perfect pass would have only allowed Jim Smith to have to make a great catch. You see right there, he goes up in the air with one hand, can't pull it down. Number 23 is Antonio Gibson, cornerback who was playing over the top of Jim Smith. A strong safety, I should say.
They show blitz.
This is not their blitzing territory normally.
Now they back off the blitz, and Stout misses. As they did get penetration, though, they got pressure from Don Fielder, the defensive end, and Scott Werner, number 25, stepped up in the middle and blitzed.
Yep. It did blitz. I guess you call it you really wouldn't call it a blitz, Keith. They've got 3 down linemen coming in the rush. Very often they will bring one of the linebackers for a 4-man rush. That time, instead of bringing a linebacker, they just brought Scott Warner instead. Confuses the blocking scheme of the offensive line. No one picks you up. You can get in there.
46 seconds to go in the third quarter. Stout has all day, but nobody to throw to. Now Smith works himself loose, but Jim is short of the first down. They've cut him down about a yard short. He's having a little trouble getting all the appendages to work and get up. Garcia Lane and Antonio Gibson jumped on him.
While he was laying down there, Keith, you saw his hand go up. He was just waving to his guys on the other side that he was okay. We'll take another look. Stout, lots of time, has not found Smith yet. Smith giving him a sign, I'm open. But right here, Garcia Lane comes in, takes him low. Gibson tries to pop him high. He comes down on his rear end, and he's okay. Smith has now caught 6 for 74 yards.
It's 4th down and 1, and the quarter is over. So through 6 playoff games, the Baltimore Stars or the Philadelphia Stars have never scored a point. But they're in control at 21-0, We'll be back for the final period after this message and a word from our local station. The USFL on ABC. Today's game being brought to you by Miller Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste. Miller, made the American way since 1855. And by Micotin. Give your athlete's foot the Micotin cure. I'm going to correct myself on that never having scored in the third quarter. You get bogged down in these little bitty things like that, but it's 7 games now, I guess. Well, enough of it. So a quarter's over. Final period. 4th down, 1.5 yards for the Birmingham Stallions. Cliff Stout throwing for it, gets it. As he throws to Joel Coles, and Coles goes down to about the 45 on the Baltimore side of the field. Jonathan Sutton brought him down. And now we get a little ruckus going on.
Obviously,
was that Sutton? Was that Coles or was that Mason? That was Coles. Yes,
Coles.
We have a word from the bench that Tom Donovan has a hip injury and James Caber an ankle injury, so they're out for the remainder of the game for the Baltimore Stars. The ball is just short of the 45, and it's a first down for Birmingham. But they're down by 21. They need some scoring in a hurry. Stout throws underneath. Throws behind Toller. Kenny never really had a chance at it. I thought Smith was going to come open deep down the middle, but Cliff committed himself to the short man.
Threw it pretty hard, too. We take a look at the third quarter stats. All things are fairly even here. It's just that the Baltimore Stars connected on the big plays. All 3 of their touchdowns were big plays, an interception, a long play, pass play for 30 yards and a touchdown, and the one to Kelvin Bryant for 70 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, base.
Pressure coming. Pass away. Cribbs decked. Good play by Mike Lush, the free safety.
Mike Lush came a long way to make the stop on that play. He's happy with himself. Joe Cribbs. Been nagged by injuries all during the season. Still managed to get 1,000 yards. In his years with the Buffalo Bills and 2 years down here, championships have eluded him.
It's 3rd down and about 13 for Birmingham. Smith can't hold on to it as he rolls over on the sidelines, and it brings up 4th down. Now they'll have to punt it.
Yep. Birmingham relinquishing the ball now. Has run for 12 plays and passed 35 times. 35 passing plays because they have been behind all during this ball game.
Parsons punt to Garcia Lane at the 13 and back to the 24. 13 minutes, 16 seconds to play in the football game. 35-yard punt, 11-yard return. In women's golf, next weekend, the U.S. Open. Alice Stacy is the defending champion. Alice always gets her act together for this one. Boy. Alice Miller's had a marvelous year. Nancy Lopez right there. Pat Badley, Joanne Carter. ABC's Wide World of Sports will offer a heavyweight fight between Tyrell Biggs, undefeated, Eddie Richardson, 9-1, and the Firecracker, 400.
And Keith Jackson will be there.
Indoors where it's cool. Pitch to Kelvin Bryant. Look at this. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Did you
76 yards for Kelvin Bryant.
Did you hear it, Keith? That was the other shoe that just dropped.
I do believe it. Well, the man that the Birmingham Stallions worried about has hit him with 2 huge plays today. One in the second quarter for 70 yards on a pass from Fusina. This time, Bryant picks his way brilliantly through the traffic and goes 76.
where Herschel Walker could not even get 100 yards in his ball club. Kelvin Bryant comes jaunting through that line, turns it into a sprint, and rips off 76 yards on one impressive play. And again, he goes behind the right side, Eaton and Comiskey, to get the initial start.
Trout for the extra point. Got it. And so at 12 minutes and 43 seconds to go, it is now 28-0, the Stars. Kelvin Bryant has run for 121 yards, caught passes for 101 yards. He has produced 222 yards.
He wasn't even hit until number 24, Chuck Clatton, came up from the secondary and bounced off his ankles. Kelvin Bryant, plagued with injuries throughout the season, now reaching his peak, brings him another touchdown.
Well, I believe Kelvin Bryant can have the rest of the day off.
I think so.
As soon as he gets his breath back, Timmy Bryant will talk to him.
In playoff games of 1983 and 84, he has rushed the ball 117 times for a total of 615 yards, and just adding more to it.
Larry Douglas on the return, not much for him. Out to about the 22. Now let's go to Tim.
Well, it's been a tough day. You've been in and out, but boy, when you come in, you turn it on.
Yeah, you know, I was a little tired, a little dizzy because it was kind of hot out here. And I had to come back in, and the line did a good job in opening up the hole, and I just ran through there.
KB, have you really reached your peak in conditioning this year at all?
Yeah, you know, it's just real hot out here, and when it's hot like that, you know, you have to keep coming out.
Is this game over?
Well, you know, Birmingham, they got a good team, so we got to keep playing.
Don't know if they can score 28 points, though, in 12 and a half minutes. Keith?
Don't either.
Nope.
The other side of the field is marked by severe case of dejection. What happened, they will say.
I'll tell you what happened.
Home.
And the guys will probably think about it on the way home. At least the guys on defense will. They'll say they got no help from the offense. They'll never say it openly or publicly, and they shouldn't, but the offense has not done its share in this game today.
The ball is moved out to the 37-yard line as a result of a personal foul, and Cliff Stout throws to Darrell Mason, who gets the ball up to about the 45. Baseball final scores. Mets beat Atlanta 4-0. Cincinnati beat Philadelphia 3-2, and San Diego shut out Pittsburgh 3-0. Lamar Hart winning that game for San Diego. Now 11-4. He's won 9 in a row. Ken Toller with a grab, good for a first down for Birmingham, and he's got the ball at the Baltimore 48. American League, Cleveland has beaten the Chicago White Sox 10-3, and that's the only final in the American League. And young Becker, 17 years of age, out of West Germany, has won Wimbledon. First unseeded player to do it, and the youngest player ever to do it. Here's a pass to the sidelines, and a good catch. Fine reception by Ken Toller out of Mississippi.
Ooh, that pass just came whistling by number 58, Greg Jameson. Ken Toller had his hands full, but came up with the pass. Birmingham going now with 11 minutes and 14 seconds in the final period into their hurry-up offense.
They're going to measure this to see whether or not it's a first down. And the answer is no. Your crowd is 23,250. They don't have turnstiles here at Legion Field, so that is not an absolute count.
And that
but
was
it's 5,000, roughly 4,500 more than they had last week for the quarterfinal game.
And that was the count before Kelvin Bryant ran that last touchdown.
Yep.
A couple of folks have gone home already.
Just short by 4 or 5 inches. Near the 38 of the Stars. Dumps it off. Pass good to Jim Smith. And Smith will have the first down around the 26-yard line of Baltimore, as Antonio Gibson grabbed him by the sleeve and dragged him down. 27 is where they'll put it.
Jimmy Smith, a strong receiver. good footwork, can stop, make the cut back inside. Tried to do it and just arm whip Antonio Gibson to the side, but he found some cloth to hold on to.
10:20 to go in the game. Now throwing again, looks toward Toller, goes down the middle instead to Smith, and Jenny dives to the 20. Pick up of 7. The Baltimore defensive pressure is forcing Cliff Stout, and has been all day, forcing him to a relatively early commitment.
Yes, it has. He hasn't scanned the field. He's isolated one receiver and just gone to him.
Into the corner of the end zone for Joey Jones, and he can't turn back and make the catch. Ball was thrown hard, and he had to turn all the way around. Couldn't come down with it.
That's one of those tough catches to make, Keith. You have to go up in the air.
Virtually impossible.
You know, time it just right, judge the speed of the ball very quickly, go up in the air, get turned around, and make that catch at the right height. Joey Jones small. He gets up in the air very good, though.
Now it is 3rd down and 4.
No. He's audibleizing, looking for the blitz.
That's quarterback draw, except he didn't draw it very much. He jumped quickly over the left side of the center. George Jameson was there to wrestle with him, and he comes up a yard short of the first down. Got to go here on 4th and 1.
Three-point certainly won't help them. 9:25 in the ball game.
That's closer to 2 yards. Pass to Joey Jones, and he cradles it in. Inside the 15 for the first down.
I said 3 yards. I meant to say 3 points won't help him. Might as well go for the touchdown.
Well, right now, Stallions, of course, as much as anything, playing for dignity.
Yep.
8 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Nobody available. He's got Jones deep in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Joey just barely was able to keep the toes down.
Kate, when you're not possessed with all the great physical talents, the size, the speed, you've got to make sure you do everything else right to compensate. So Joey Jones, being a small receiver, he's got good quickness, but he has to have excellent technique and bring all the other things to his game. Here, excellent body control. As Cliff Stout scrambles, looking for time to throw the ball, he wants 6 points and finds him, puts it deep in the end zone. And watch here, both feet on the ground, inbounds. He stretches out. Freddie Bolitnikoff would be so proud of you.
Kick is up, and good by Miller. At 8 minutes and 41 seconds to play in the ball game.
Joey Jones always looking to improve himself and his ability. Right here, he stretches out, both feet planted. He knows he's going to get hit. He's going to fall right down on the ground with the ball, makes the catch.
Cliff Stout has thrown for 284 yards and just got his first touchdown.
In the beginning, man's feet walked free, but the road to civilization was paved, so man developed shoes. Soon after that, man developed athlete's foot. Egad. Today, there's Mycotin. Mycotin cures athlete's foot. It's the only athlete's foot medicine you can buy with myconazole, a patented ingredient recommended by specialists to cure athlete's foot. Mycotin in spray, powder, or cream. Mycotin, the end of the road for athlete's foot.
Wash and go.
You're a guy who's on the go. You wash and go, hell, let's know. Everywhere that you go. You wash and go, hell, let's know.
Pert, that's what you want for hair on the go. Pert adds a drop of instant action conditioning, so all you do is wash and go.
Wash and go, hell, it's good on you.
With style and freedom.
Wash and go with Pert.
Wash and go.
Hey, you want to know how to make a car sing? Well, after you wash it, just get out the old Armor All. First they do the tires. Makes them look like new again. Then I do the bumpers. Makes them look like bumpers again, yeah. Then I do the dash, the door panels. Then I hit the hoses. And when I'm finished with armor all, this car is the envy of the entire living world.
And then he does his car.
Company car.
Joey Jones plays a big role in Birmingham's first touchdown, making 2 tough catches. First, this one for the first down.
That was a third down situation they were involved in right there. It's a tough catch. Might be some judgment whether he caught it or not, but they gave it to him. And then he comes up with this spectacular catch. What a beauty. Oh, that's the kind that you dream about when your days are over, you reminisce about. Say, I did it when things were tough. Onside kick attempt possibly here.
Oh, boy, that's a good play by Larry McCoy, a linebacker out of Lamar for Baltimore. He had 2 Stallions out there all by himself, and if he doesn't come up with it, Birmingham is a cinch to get it. And by golly, he made the play.
McCoy looked very cool and confident over there. He knew the ball had to go 10 yards. Everybody else lined up to the left of Danny Miller. 2 people to his right. He gets over there in time after it goes 10 yards. Recovers it before number 21, Dennis Woodbury, can make a play for it.
And the Stars are camped at the Stallions 46, leading 28-7 with 8:20 to play in the ball game, and Alan Harvard sweeps it right. And they're going to mark him down. He was going to take a couple more just in case he tripped over one of his own men, but they put him down at the 42.
Oh, it's fortunate for the Baltimore Stars that the running game, especially that long run by Kelvin Bryant, came around and worked well for them in the 4th period. They lost 2 receivers in the ball game. They lost Donovan and they lost Carver. They only had 3 wide receivers left in the ball game. Willie Collier, just recovering from a separated shoulder, hadn't intended on playing except in 3rd and long situations.
Penalty flag. On 2nd down and 6, a flag.
Alan Hartman with a 3-yard carry, but there's a penalty flag.
And my wide man's up there, everybody on the line. The illegal formation on the offense. 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd down, 11.
Jim Moore.
You know, one thing that gets Jim really upset is when his team gets a little ragged in the late going.
Yeah, especially when they've got a lead and the teams tend to relax and get somewhat complacent. Jim does not like to see that happen to his team.
Well, he's going into the championship game next week, too.
He wants them toned up, doesn't want the guys injured. He's been the head coach for all 3 years for the Philadelphia, now Baltimore Stars. And every year they have been in the championship game if they can hold on to their 21-point lead here with 7 minutes to go.
Harvin again. Well, that's a little exuberance there as Chuck Clanton ripped the helmet off Harvin's head.
Bart Oates doesn't like it. And Chuck Clanton is not going to back off. What do you think they're saying? Things like, oh, gee, guys, come on. I was only having some fun. I wanted the helmet for a souvenir. Wanted to take it home, put it up on my bookcase. Boy, it's like he's popping a bottle of beer right there. Big difference. That's an important stat right there. Birmingham only 1 for 11.
Going right, Bill.
3rd down plays.
3rd and 7. That's not a first down.
Nope.
The yard short. Pass caught by Willie Collier. And Irv Eatman is hobbling around. Look at this. Irv Eatman's hobbling the right ankle.
Yep. Chuck Fusina's arm is hurt. His hand seems to be hurt.
Eatman's going to have to leave.
There's a man who is not expendable to your offensive line.
No, sir.
Going into the championship game.
Tried to walk it off and couldn't.
1 second left on the 30-second clock, and Chuck Fusina spins a timeout not to sustain the penalty.
So they're tending to Irv Eatman right now. He may no longer be needed so much today, but ABC's Monday Night Baseball, the New York Mets, Cincinnati Reds out of the National League or American League action with the Milwaukee Brewers and California Angels. 8 Eastern, 7 Pacific. 8 Eastern and Pacific, 7 Central. Can't even read.
Irv Eatman. You see there?
Tim Brandt is visited with him. We'll check in with Timmy after this play and find out what the problem is. Alan Harvin and Kelvin Bryant now back in the ball game, and Bryant's got it. And he's pinned down as he tries to lunge ahead on 4th down and 1, and doesn't work. And so Birmingham will take over. And tempers are pretty short. Frustration is very long. Tim Brandt, what about Irv Eatman?
Well, I just talked to Irv. He's never had ankle problems before, but he said somebody rolled right over his right ankle, so they're working on it now. It's twisted. He's more upset that it happened like it did because the play was over. He was behind it when the guy rolled over his ankle. Doesn't seem to be too bad. He doesn't think so anyway. It's he's in pain right now, but I don't think it's going to keep him out of practice or out of the game next week.
Hey, okay. Timmy?
Yeah?
Tell him to tape an aspirin to it. It'll be okay.
You better quit needling him. He's a lot bigger than you are.
That's what they used to tell me to do.
39-yard line. Cliff Stout looking around, trying to find somebody. Now has to get rid of it and throws underneath, and the pass is caught by Ken Toller. And all day long, when those passes have been caught underneath, there has been punishment dished out. That time, it was 98 Mike Johnson.
And working on his right ankle. This is one of those afternoons where the receivers from Birmingham go home, lick their wounds, and tomorrow morning they're going to be a lot sore than they are right now.
Jim Smith has the catch for the first down at about the 43 of Baltimore in front of Sam Mills.
Jimmy Smith has caught a lot of passes this afternoon, but none of them have been for the touchdowns.
Baltimore defense slightly permissive now in the secondary area because they don't want to give up the big play. You've got 3:50 to play in the ball game, and Stout still throwing. Has to go underneath again.
If he had looked downfield, he would have seen Jim Smith behind everybody, but Cliff Stout is getting so much pressure and time is running short. He had to find someone that was in his immediate vicinity. Jim Smith has caught 10 passes for 105 yards on the day, Keith.
Second down at about 5. That pass one-handed by Jim Smith, and he will have a first down on the catch.
Pass complete to number 86, Jim Smith.
Larry Douglas has come on the field now, replacing Ken Toller. Douglas, a speed burner. That's the way it looks for next Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Giant Stadium, Meadowlands, east of Rutherford, New Jersey. Stout gets it away for Smith. Oh, my goodness. Is Jimmy going to get up from that one? Ooh-wee. No.
George Jameson.
I mean, that's brutal to take one like that.
They have been taking these kind of hits all afternoon from the linebackers and the secondary people.
Anthony Carter, Gordon Banks, Derek Holloway. Are you watching?
Classic tackle. Head on, full speed by Jameson. Headgear.
Right on the
chest.
sternum. Right in the sternum. It's 28-7 and timeout for an injured Jim Smith.
Jim Smith still down on the field. They're working on him. They have his shoulder pads off, you see there. Now he's being helped up.
I think he took that helmet right in the sternum, boy. It looks tough.
It does.
Jimmy with 10 catches, 110 yards. And virtually every catch he has made today, he has been pounded. Watch the play.
He's taking shots similar to this earlier in this ball game. Ball's coming in. 58 Jamison. He has one thing in his mind, just to make the hit. And look at the way Jimmy's head snaps back.
Well, the linebackers now, Jamison was back there, Johnson was back there. The linebackers have been playing in that really deep portion of what you would call your intermediate zone. But what about your Messrs. Carter and Banks with that great speed?
Well, the speed is going to help them out because I think they'll be able to stretch the secondary much farther down the field. And Charlie Sumner likes for his ball club to run north and south, go for the big play.
Cliff Stout turns it up and ducks just past the marker and gets a first down before he goes out of bounds at 2:31 to play in the ball game.
Little Joey Jones gets a little revenge for his pass-catching partner, Jimmy Smith, on that last play, Keith. As Cliff Stout was running towards the sideline, he squared up on, I couldn't see who the man was, the cornerback out there. Didn't give him the same kind of imposing shot that Jamison gave to Smitty, but nonetheless dropped him on his rear end.
2:31.
We'll take a look at it. Right there was 47 Garcia Lane that he put the block on.
Stout fumbles the football. And I think Birmingham has recovered it. And the man that knocked the ball loose was George Jamison. And Stout is shaken and surely weary, and Joe Cribbs is hobbling. Caruth will go in, replacing Cribbs. Stout now at 340 yards, 309 throwing and 31 on the ground, and we are at 2 minutes to play in this semifinal game, with Baltimore very much in control by a score of 28-7. Raleigh Dutch and his troops on the sidelines in their final 2 minutes of the 1985 USFL season.
Now they're behind by 21 points. Smith is up now, walking around. Gonna put his gear back on. Jim Smith might be going back into the ballgame.
That's tough.
That's Jim Smith.
19-yard line.
You ever got to go to war and I get to pick the guys who have to stand next to me? I'm calling them up.
Stout looking. Douglas breaks in the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Douglas with his speed, not able to break loose from Sutton and from Mike Lush.
We're not going to show Heidi. We don't have that racked up to show that on our channels, do we, Keith?
Say what?
Heidi. So there's no chance of a great comeback here.
No. I believe that's the sole property of Netherfield.
Okay.
We've got it rolling. Stout. Down the middle. No, it's too long for Larry Douglas. Tip, was it?
Yeah, the ball looked like it was batted, knocked up in the air.
Coming up later on ABC's World News Sunday with Sam Donaldson, Vietnam says it will turn over the remains of 26 American MIAs and the personal effects of 6 others. And Dick Schaff will wrap up the final action from Wimbledon later on ABC World News Sunday. It's 4th down, and perhaps the last gasp for the Birmingham Stallions. 4th and 1, Stout rolls. Throws it now for Toller, and Kenny's got it. Inside the 2. One thing about them, they don't quit. I guarantee you, you'll never see a Raleigh Dutch ball club quit.
No, not at all. They're going after it. Like you said, it's a matter of pride and character.
We'll see if Birmingham scores here, and we'll have a few minutes to speculate on the possibilities of next Sunday night at Giant Stadium. Oakland I was not terribly impressed with, frankly, in the ball game against Tampa Bay. Yesterday, I was tremendously impressed with him. This is Joe Cribbs. Close, but not quite.
I agree with you. They just seem to play very lethargically against Tampa. Tampa put together a good game plan. They came away with a 3-point win. But the good teams have to be able to squeak by against teams that are playing their best football.
I thought the big difference in the team, though, as I saw it, Swanee, was in the offensive front. The offensive front did not play well, particularly in the first half against Tampa Bay. But yesterday, they were a wall.
They certainly were. Plus, their defensive line did not give in to the pressure of the offensive blocking of the Memphis Showboats. They thought that they could run down the field on them, and that was not the case. However, in the matchup between Baltimore and Oakland, I think a lot of the work and pressure is going to be on the defensive front and the scheme that they use in their pass rush to get to Bobby Hebert. Because in order for him to throw down the field deep, he's going to have time, and that's something that they have not given anyone in this ball game this afternoon. They have not given Cliff Stout a lot of time to throw the passes he's wanted to throw.
Hebert tends to take a deeper drop, too, because normally he's looking for the big play. So it'll be interesting. The Oakland Invaders and the Baltimore Stars in the USFL championship game next Sunday night at 8 Eastern Time. Second down and goal. It goes to Coles, and Coles dives, and he is not there either. And now we've confirmed, Dave Burnson has, that Jim Smith's 10 catches are a USFL playoff record, and he's got his equipment back on after that wallop he took from Jameson.
Smithy set a record in the USFL with 20 touchdowns on the season.
Cliff Stout trying to wedge it across on a quarterback sneak, and he can't put it in. And it's going to be 4th down and goal.
Somebody's banging that drum right next to one of our microphones down there.
Sure is. It's in. Birmingham calls a time. They have 1 timeout remaining and only 58 seconds to play in the game. Well, the Birmingham Stallions will have one more pop at the goal line. 4th down. The nose of the ball can't be more than 6 inches away, but it's been like that for the last 2 plays.
You need someone who's going to go up in the air over this defensive line and their own offensive line, as the defensive line will burrow down into the trenches.
Give it to Cribbs, and Joe's in there. It's a touchdown for Dignity. 55 seconds to play. The point will make it 28-14. But the ball game obviously belongs to Baltimore.
One former Alabama player, one former Auburn player, both having played a lot of games here at Legion Field, score the touchdowns for the Birmingham Stallions. Joy Jones from Alabama and Joe Cribbs from Auburn.
What is that highway that comes from Philadelphia down to Baltimore? 395? Kick is up and good by Miller.
I'm not sure. The Pennsylvania Turnpike goes from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia.
I keep 95, it's called. I-95. I want to call them the I-95 All-Stars. All-Stars, because they have played like it today.
They certainly have.
This is a team that was really having its troubles in the early going. The defense kept the team together. The defense won some ball games for them. They had trouble, terrible time getting the offensive unit going this year. But all of a sudden, they have now won 7 of their last 8 football games, and they're going into the title game for a 3rd successive time.
Raleigh Dotch putting something together here on this kickoff. He is not planning on giving up until that clock shows 0 seconds on it.
Well, they've got to go onside.
And score in a couple of plays.
They've got what they wanted a while ago in the onside kick when they were able to get only 1 Baltimore man over there against 2 Stallions, but the Baltimore man McCoy came away with it.
Woodbury was behind him when he made the recovery of that particular onside kick attempt. So they've got to pull it together.
Ball just has not bounced for us. Not from the opening interception. Pop this one up in the air. And a fair catch is called by Mike Lush, and you can do that on a kickoff.
Mike Lush up there on that line. They put all their sure-handed people there this time, anticipating it. Receivers, people from the secondary, halfbacks all up there. Rotenberger was up there, Woodbury, Lush. 53 seconds to possess the football.
Birmingham timeout situation now is they have one. There's Carl Peterson, the general manager and the man who put this team together at the beginning. And Fusina takes the snap and just sits down with it now. And Birmingham will spend its final timeout. Jim Smith now has taken the battle gear off. I think the good doctor came over and said, James, you've had enough abuse for the day.
Yes. Let's not let courage get in the way of good common sense. Raleigh Dodge, like Jim Moore, was an assistant coach for the New England Patriots. Came over and was an assistant at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He's done a heck of a job, Swanee. He's going to finish the season, what, 14-6, right?
He's done a great job. There's no doubt about what he has brought in terms of knowledge and organization and stability to this ball club. Unfortunately, he's just come up short of making it to the championship game.
Again now to kill the clock, and it's running at 47 seconds. Birmingham with no more timeouts remaining. Cliff Stout, a monument to dejection as of this moment, because he wanted to win one. He has the rings from Pittsburgh, but felt that he had no great role in winning those rings. Here are numbers that spell victory. Fusina, 10 out of 16, 210 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kelvin Bryant, 116 yards on the ground, 101 yards in the air, a total of 217 yards for him. And Bryant scored 2 touchdowns.
Jonathan Sutton picking off Cliff Stout's first pass of the afternoon, running it into the end zone for a touchdown. Got the defense fired up, inspired off on a good foot. And the defense played an outstanding ball game, and this one is history.
Now to Tim Brandt as he talks with Jim Morrow.
Well, they said it couldn't be done. 3 championships in a row, Jim, and you did it, and you faced all types of adversity getting here.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to this football team. They had a lot of adversity, like it said, and they kept battling back all year. They had a lot of pressure situations, a lot of must-wins, and they just they didn't quit, you know. And a lot of people didn't think we'd be here, but we're going back, and that's the main thing. It's a great group of guys and a great coaching staff, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
Jim, is it a little bit more special than the first 2 because you were 5-6-1 at one point on the ropes, then you're evicted from the stadium, and I mean, it seems like everything that could go wrong did.
It is. This I feel better about going this time than I have the first 2 because of the things that we've had to overcome, and nobody realizes what this team's had to overcome this year, and nobody will understand it, only the guys that were involved, but they've done a tremendous job of coming back, and I couldn't be more proud of them, like I said.
Congratulations. We'll see you in New Jersey.
Thanks very much.
Okay, Jim. All right, Keith.
So your final score is 28-14. The Stars going to the title game for a 3rd consecutive time, and one of the reasons right there, Chuck Fusina. He has been the quarterback from the very beginning, and he will be the quarterback next Sunday night when the Stars play the Oakland Invaders. I've never seen a better competitor. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Today's coverage of the Baltimore Stars, produced by Ken Wolf. Baltimore Stars and Birmingham Stallions, directed by Craig Janoff. Our technical director, Rich Gelber, and our associate director, Jeff Cohen. Our spotter, Todd Barry. Stats by Dave Bernstein. Keith Jackson, Lynn Swan, and Tim Brandt from Legion Field in Birmingham. The USFL on ABC, brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade helps put...
Seldom educate.
This is CBS.
We're making Pizza Hut pizza, the kind we like to eat, just toppers, pepperoni.
They make the decision. They make the